wonderful referee, very brave. The first one we even saw
that wonderful referee.
The National Sports Council started demanding for the letter. Are you a member of FIFA? You're not. They're not members of FIFA. It's FAS. And the letters have come out. So who has looked foolish now? Because they thought FAS were hiding something behind their back. And the official communication has come out. The letters are out there for each one of us to go through and understand. And the beauty with FIFA.
Tune in to the Flava FM Football Show for the latest local, African and international football news.
Pius, if you look at Zambian football critically, very, very critically, after winning the AFCON, we went into the second attempt and did we win a single game? No. The slump started then. Yo, Kamanga this, Kamanga that, we from the time we hit a slump, we have not recovered.
You know, this is quite
it's sad.
Oxymoronic, should I say?
Yeah. Precisely. I like that word.
In why I say it's oxymoronic is the Zambia has been booted out of the AFCON, but many people seem to have a great hope, even from the messages which I read earlier. People
Pius, going like I said, going forward.
This booting out has actually left many people positive.
The Flava FM Football Show, 90 minutes of nothing but football.
Flava FM, Coppola's most loved radio station. Good evening to you, and welcome to the Flava FM football show, the biggest football show in the land. And we are here to talk for 90 minutes plus extra time of nothing but football. Kicked off a little bit late, but we are on track. 18:57 is the time. We're about 10 minutes late, but we are going to make up for any time that is lost. With me in the studio, as usual, I have a panel of gentlemen here, some of which you call the wise men, and to give you some of the wisdom from which they deduce from the situations of football in the land. Evening, Alderman Patrick Tembo. How are you today?
Wow. Very fine, Pius.
Yes.
Good evening to our dear listeners and viewers. It's 90
Yes,
minutes.
it is, listeners and viewers. In fact, I didn't mention it is, we are live on 87.7 on the Copper Belt, 96.9 in Lusaka, and 92.1 in Solwezi. Tell a friend who loves football, if they're not listening, to listen now. And we are live also on our Facebook and YouTube platforms as well. I know some of these days technology has moved. Some of the TVs have got Facebook and YouTube. You can use either when you are listening. Instead of listening now, you can watch. Okay. So at least good to have you. At least we are here, Alderman, for the last show of the year.
Oh yes, I was.
Yes. We
are winding it up.
We are winding it up in style. Good evening, Mr. Arthur Luando. How are you today?
Super blessed, my guy. Thanks a lot. Thanks for hosting me, and thanks to the support. I want to support the over the year.
Yes.
Yeah, we are closing it on a high.
Closing it on a high. Yeah, always super high. Yeah, so did I say super high? Closing on a super high, should I say? Despite yeah,
the loss last night.
Sorry.
What are you about?
You guys who were hammered by Patson Daka's Leicester.
Can you imagine? At least our boy got paid, you know?
Yeah. But I think before we kick off the show, gentlemen, I think one thing which we need to address is just to at least to remind people to keep safe with the COVID situation. It is it is building up countrywide. The numbers are getting high, should I say? They're getting crazy. If we're having 5,000, 3,000 cases being pulled up, and for me, it's not really. I think what is alarming me is the positivity rate from the ratio of the testing to the number of people who are actually positive. It's actually quite high.
And the other disappointing thing, Pius, is you find that 60 or 70% of the people that are positive are actually not vaccinated.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah. And so I think looking at that, it will not be surprising if football is affected going forward, isn't it? Alderman, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm actually very scared because in Europe it's already affected.
Yes.
A number of games.
And some people some countries people are playing behind closed doors.
Yeah, they're playing behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And a number of games have been postponed.
Yeah. Oh yes, because
and
of COVID-19.
I was scared this afternoon because it was announced that in the next 3-4 days the government will announce some stringent measures to control the infection. So I hope football won't be affected so much. You remember how we are used
many months of no watching football in the stadium.
Yeah. And people kept telling us, we want fans back. And so on. Yeah. Well, we shall wait and see.
Yeah. We'll wait and see. I feel bad as well for those who own restaurants and bars. I know a lot of people are brought in because of the football, and if they are not able to because if government is talking about more stringent measures, I'm sure restaurants will be clamped down on, restaurants and bars. So that one is tricky. Good evening, Mr. Kufa Chipeta. How are you today? And welcome.
Thank you, Pius. Good evening to our dear listeners out there and viewers.
Yes.
Good evening to you and the gentlemen in the studio.
Yes. Are you equally as concerned about the COVID? It's spreading quickly.
Definitely, Pius.
And effect on football.
It's a global problem, and it affects all sectors of life, sports and football in particular, inclusive. You may want to know, not too long ago, we had virtual supporters in the stadium.
Yes.
And we wouldn't want, the wave is just not there.
Yes.
No supporters, and playing football is more like a training game.
Yeah.
Away from the crowd. And so,
the 12 player match.
but hey, when you are faced with such a predicament, you have no choice but to regulate in that direction.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll see how that will go. In the meantime, let me just start by picking out some of the text messages which we have on our platform here. Okay, I've got messages coming in. This one says, congratulations to Zesco United at Nkana for victory of okay, no, this is it's, I think it doesn't pertain. Okay, no. Yes, I see now. That was an old message. Good evening, gentlemen. How is everyone there? Just appreciating for the job you are doing. Thank you so much. God bless you. Fanuel Manda, Pakopala, Kitwe Kawama, Man City, and Zanaco for life. I like that combination. It's different. Usually, Nimanyu and Nkana.
It's a weird combination.
Man City and
but
Zanaco.
We are happy that it exists.
Yes. Yeah. This one says, which teams have qualified for APSA Cup? Zanaco FC, the only team in the country representing us at the CAF Confederations Cup. Wakufa, Tuala Shashi. Okay, I've read it as is. Zega, we don't want Numba to continue as our coach because we are not playing good football. Even if we win the league, Numba must go. Mr. Nkata from CP. Thank you. Okay. This one says, good evening, great men of football. Just want to appreciate you guys for the good and wonderful job you are doing. And you are doing this year in 2021. You have put Zambian football on the world map because of your efforts, guys. Surely you are very, very important to us soccer lovers, and you play a very big role in Zambian football, guys, and you mean a lot to us soccer fans. You are the best of the best, guys. Keep it up. Happy 2022 in advance, great men. Vadisi Pabuzaland, Nkana and Arsenal forever.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
To get such a comment from an ardent listener.
Yes,
it gives us,
exactly.
Joy. Yeah.
It reaffirms our commitment to coming here. Good evening, Pius and the panel. Imagine a Zambian club has a project of winning the Champions League in 4 years. But how can they maintain the core of the best players when a lot of players become big-headed and some players may request a transfer to the point of threatening not to play for the club anymore? So they even disappear and reappear for a different team. Secondly, many Zambian teams are not consistent with performance in the league because they lack stars who can fight for the club. For example, Zesco made a mistake to sell players like Triple C, etc. And now they are just average with no star to talk about. Your thoughts on this comment? Okay, no, we'll come back and talk thoughts. Just keep this one in mind. Keep this one in mind. Let me read a few more messages. This one says, evening panelists, any update on new signings at PDFC? Yellow for life, Nietzsche Jr. Overspill. Thank you, Nietzsche Jr. Then this one says, good evening panelists. I think my question is not answered last week. Does Benson Sakala see game time at his club or not? Secondly, which team will Zambia lock horns with at the AFCON qualifiers for 2023? Yours, Elijah M. Chiemboka. Okay, I think we'll come round and answer those questions. We're taking note of some of those questions, gentlemen. For that. For Benson Sakala, I'll look that one up for you. Good evening, panel. I just want to encourage Zanaco FC. Don't be afraid of Mwanafaro. Though Mwanafaro, they are just saying it's a group of death. You will kill them. Don't underrate yourselves. We are behind you. Go, Zanako, go. Ama Arabs, Mashinafye. You will do it. Masho Martin, Chelston in Lusaka. Thank you, Masho Martin. I know you are a consistent listener from Lusaka. Thank you. All the way from Lusaka. Good evening, panel. I just want to find out if my team Power Dynamos have done any business in the transfer market. Sequila from Chimwemwe. Okay, next one. Evening, gentlemen. Too bad we lost Sofiane Loka, another player on the pitch. May his soul rest in peace. When are the draws for the APSA Cup? Hector from Chamboli. Thank you, Hector. This one says, good evening. How are you? There. What's for the new year? Mr. Zuba from Nachi's Hair Salon and Barbershop in Solwezi. Kazomba. Thank you, Zuba. Then this one says, evening to you all. I just want to find out about any transfers at my team Kalamba, Katongo Chenda. Thank you, Katongo Chenda. I'm enjoying the show. Please play a song done. Okay, no, that's not for us. Okay. Okay, but this one is not for us. I'm trying to decipher messages. Hello, I'm Arthur from Solwezi. Please. Okay, this one says, sportsman. Clarify on Kalusha Bwalia's position as director of sports. Kosa Jackson, Kabwe Warriors supporter in Kitwe. This one came early. This one says, Watembo, please tell Power, even at home, Nkana is better. Sorry, Vamambo. Next, Power 1, Nkana 3. Mwandama, Pankana East. Good evening, Pius and panel. There, Mr. Tembo. Tuleche Shalelo. Namwisa. Namudia. Mr. Kufa is in the building. Continue with your good works. We love you guys. I'm Peter Mwamba from Chamboli, Kitwe, but I'm listening to you from Chambishi. Nkana FC for life. No APSA Kuma Robertians. Our noisy neighbors. Our power, Jesse Wary is free. That's a good question. Eh? Would very quickly, yes or no, would it be a good buy for Power Dynamos?
Well, not in the current
form. Not in the current form?
If he's going to be their main man, because he's in the evening of his playing time, and he hasn't even seen much game time at we know when you change a club, sometimes it works out very well. But the question is, for how long? Power is looking for a striker that can stand at least for some good 2, 3, 4 seasons, so that he builds, the team is built, and they have a good striking force. I don't think Jesse Were is that kind of a player that you need in the long term.
Good or bad option, Ottoman?
Bad option. Let him go and rest.
Let
at
him
home.
go and rest.
Yes, at this time, Just where they must rest.
No need to ask you, Arthur. I've heard you
Power
making comments
Dynamos
behind.
is so youthful. You know,
Power Dynamos is too big
energetic
for
young.
him.
It's too big for him.
Yeah.
He's coming from Zesco.
No, he's a finished player.
Again, when you are going to say
Uh-huh.
Power Dynamos is too big for him, comparatively, and the current for maybe last 5 years, Zesco is bigger than Power.
As a club.
The last 5 years,
yeah,
yes.
Yes.
as a club. But
Yeah.
if you look at
even the last 10 years, I
Yeah.
think Zesco is bigger than Power. Last
Yes.
10 years.
Yeah.
So
But-
if
but-
you are going to look at the contribution that he can bring, if you are going to say he's going to a bigger club than Zesco, I don't. For me, I think it might be a misplaced statement, and I disagree with that on the score that Jesse Were is coming from a better team and probably going to Power will be a minus, except he's not going to add value because Power is trying to build a team.
Okay.
So the point is, he's not.
Zesco is still a bigger team than Power.
by far.
But,
Yeah.
But the point is, we're talking about an individual player here
what are we
who's
using?
not worthy of going to Power.
Will
Dynamo.
Power take that lightly?
Uh-huh.
What is statistics?
No, it's a fact. I mean,
are we using?
let's say the last
Zesco
10
is
years. The
better
last
than
10
him?
years, who has been? Who is
No,
a
Zesco has
bigger
been a
team?
better team than
Zesco
Power
has been a
Dynamo
bigger
in
team.
the last 10 years.
Last 10 years.
Bigger in what?
In everything.
In everything.
Everything.
Delivered.
Everything.
Anyway,
Talk
that
about
should-
winning the league.
we don't
talk
have
about quality.
we
They
don't
won-
have-
They won the league
we
about
don't
3 or 4
have-
times. Huh?
We
They
don't
played-
have statistics here.
No,
It is
statistics are there.
because-
We'll give you Elderman.
Listen, we don't know what statistics we are supposed to be using to compare the two. So that is for another day.
No,
But
it's
to
for
just
now.
come up
They-
and say
Pass.
Zesco is better than Power. Me, I would like to look at what fundamentals are you bringing in.
Okay. In general, I think if we round off
No, not in
achievements,
general.
if
You
we round
look,
off,
you're now qualifying it.
if
You're
we
saying
round off
achievement.
achievements, you can't compare
And
the
over
two.
what period?
Yeah.
That's why we have said.
You are saying
If you-
now you're trying to
Pass.
qualify.
Pass.
it.
said the last 10
Achievements, league finishes,
Yes.
Quality
all
players,
the
last 10 years.
all those are dynamic.
Africa
Contribution.
in Africa.
Good administration is another factor. I mean, you can talk about all these dynamics. You still discover that they'll favor Zesco.
Okay,
In the last 10 years.
let's move on. Okay, this one says, Vakufa, Tulechesha, you are around. We welcome you, Navaodaman.
Thank you.
Evening to you, best soccer analyst of the year 2021. Last year, on the show, I asked about you giving us the team of the first round of the league, Nkweto, Luangwa, Power Dynamos for life. In fact, that's one of the things which the gentlemen are going to do today. They will give you their teams of the first round of the league so far. So stand by for that. It's going to come. Even Badani is not here, but he's also given me his team. So I'll also give his team as well. Good evening. I'm enjoying the show. Is it true that Zanaco has released 11 players?
Yes, we can confirm that it's true.
Yes, it is
Done,
true.
done.
We'll talk about that. I'm enjoying the show. Please, any signing from at Kansanshi Dynamos. I'm Marcos Pasolwezi. This one says, welcome back, Pius and the panel. For me, Pius, I'm just mourning our last night's painful loss to Dhaka's team in the EPL. Genius Elias from Riverside, Nkana and Liverpool forever. We've been through this. Even Man U, we lost to Patson Dhaka's team. In fact, he scored against De Gea. Yeah, man, that day. Evening, soccer pundits. I missed this program for the last 5 months. I have been away. It's good to be back. Zesco needs to reinforce the striking force. The Blues for life from Badienge Ngulube in Kamfisa. Oh yes, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Good evening, panelists. My take is Faz has appointed the Croatian early. We could have waited to assess our problems, then find the permanent solution. Benjamin from Kamatipa. Which information? We're waiting for confirmation, isn't it? It's not yet confirmed. Let's not count the ducks first. Hi, good people. Mr. Mambo, let's congratulate ZNBC journalist Mr. Clinton Masumba for an award. Any Liverpool transfers before I sleep? Tonka Twende News. Mambo, your number, please. This is Monday. I'll text it to you.
Keeps them going.
Good evening, panel. To the football family, I want to send my appreciation to the wise men for being around at the football show this year. Even as we come to the last year's show, Zesco United is second on the league. Yet they are having a bad season and fans want the coach to be sacked. Is our league competition. And Mr. Pius, what is really wrong with Man U? Because the same Newcastle is beaten by clubs like Chelsea, Liverpool and Man City. And does that mean it's the coach or the players? Or is it that when teams play Man U, they play like a final? I have a suggestion for the panel. When the league resumes, put up a competition on the show where listeners can get to win tickets and watch the Faz Super League, Patson, Coach, Pata Compound, Man United and Zega for life. Yeah, Man U is a big topic. I think there are lots of dynamics. But yes, teams do play. Newcastle. You can't even take anything away from them. They outplayed Manchester United that day. It was even lucky it ended 1-1. I met soccer fans who say our league is on winter break. My foot, it's summer here. Ukutueva kukopera. Oh, sorry. Ukutemo kukopera. Yeah. Sorry, forgive me. Happy festive season, Lennox in Mindolo. We are copying too much. Evening panel. When is the MTN Super League window transfer going to open? I'm Moses Kahinga at Jonkem, Power Dynamos, and Chelsea diehard soccer fan. All right, I think I've cleared. This one says, good evening, football gurus. This is the last show of the year 2021. Sober Pius, I want a Man United jersey and Enkana jersey from Mr. Tembo and Luando.
Why?
Yes, he wants a Enkana jersey from Batembo or Luando.
Or jointly.
Or
Vachipeta. Give us.
Or Vachipeta na papata. I've been begging for so long.
No,
looking for a new coach as we soldier on and looking forward to a good second half of the league for Abba Red and Man U for life. Compliments of the season from Santos. Thank you, Santos. Your request has not been overlooked. We are making plans. There are some certain plans we are making. When they happen, just be ready. Good evening from me. If my team Man City, I'm feeling good. This is Mr. Zuba again from Nachi's Hair Salon in Solwezi. Okay, when I come to Solwezi, I'll come and get a haircut from
haircut for free.
Haircut for free. I should also ask for free things, All right, I think we've cleared the messages. Okay, no, this is not ours. Yes, I've cleared the messages. Remember, the text line is 0965 000 0965 000 if you'd like to get in touch via text. I've just cleared about 65 messages
already.
Okay, so as we move on with the show, gentlemen, where are we with just some of the results which
but before the results,
there are not many.
There were a few
yes
that we need to sort out. Which
matters are rising. Yes, please.
Quick. Transfer window opens on Saturday. So all these rumors which have been flying around on social media here and there, ignore them until they are officially confirmed. It starts on 1st January, which will be a Saturday.
Yeah,
that's when the window will open.
Maybe just also to clear, rumors will always be there because officially when the day opens, some business would have started in the background, like now. So you have a situation where some teams are approaching player X, player Y, and things like that, waiting to confirm or waiting to conclude on that day.
Yes.
You don't start doing business on the market day.
Especially conclusion.
Yeah.
What I was saying was, officially,
Yeah.
we shall know when a pen is put on paper. You know, in Zambia, we have had players who have signed this side and are going to play the other side and end up being punished. A lot of changes. It's not as steady as it is in Europe, where it's predictable and so on.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
There's so many examples we can cite.
Again, that's the
You
price.
just hear Kufa is training with Team B.
Yeah, that's the price you pay for ignorance.
Yes.
You want to chop twice. Ukuwaja, you also want to eat the other side. It doesn't work out like that.
Yes.
So I think players need to be educated so that they avoid getting themselves in unnecessary trouble.
Yeah. No, very, 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 very true. Yeah. So let me just quickly just run down a few of the results which were of games played. I know there were games on Boxing Day. That was in Solwezi. I have games from Solwezi. Just to run through them quickly. Zesco Solwezi 1, Flying Stars 0, Lumwana Heroes 1, Kasempa Police 2, and Mufumbwe Marketeers 3, Spartans 0. This was a walkover. Mumpulumba 2, Bresma 0, Solwezi Academy 4, ZNS Mwembeji 1, Mufumbwe United 1, Young Kansanshi United 1, Prison Jets 2, Manyama Explosives 3, APG Milling 1, Solwezi United 1, Maheva Academy 1, and Police Doves 1. And the top 4, the way it looks in Solwezi Division 1, Young Kansanshi are topping with 31 points. Mufumbwe Marketeers are second with 23 points. So, Solwezi United are third with 22 points, and Maheva Academy are fourth with 22 points. This is
which Division 1? You should
Division
be very
1
specific.
Northwestern.
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 Yes.
Division 1. I thought I said.
You just said Division 1.
Oh, Northwestern Division 1. Okay. But interesting. Okay, Young Kansanshi, they're the only ones who haven't lost in this league. And they seem to be running away with it. 7 points clear at 13 games played. It might be early days, but
It's an advantage.
but it's 7 points is a big advantage at an early stage like this. Because if we look at other leagues which we've been looking at, Eden University, Premier League, for you to it's 7 points clear hasn't been easy. GBFC would have easily done it, but they messed themselves up.
Yeah, there are more than 10 points.
Yes,
ahead
exactly.
Of others at some point.
Yeah, but at least they are better than the average, because at 13 points you've got 31 games. That is better than the average. 9 wins out of 13 is a very good ratio, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so we can go straight into Eden University. Otherman, we had an explosive game in Solwezi. Tell us about it.
Yes, and I remember Kufa and I made the predictions the other week before the game was played, and Kufa got it right because he said Kansanshi were going to Rumana were going to make use of home ground advantage, and it ended 3-2 in favor of Rumana.
Yes.
And that had repercussions because it meant that Rumana took over the leadership on the top as they were coming to the mid-table. I mean, mid-season.
Yes.
So, as we are talking, Kansanshi is number 2. And that was the end of, if Kitwe United had any hope of playing UPSA, the dreams were shattered that day because one slot had already been taken by
NAPSA.
and there was one more to go. And that game decided who it was, and it was clearly Lumwana who carried the day. Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
It means that from National Eden University, the representatives in the APSA are Lumwana and NAPSA Stars.
And
Good representatives, I must say.
I remember the analysis last week. Kufa was Kitwe United, who are good travelers, or should I say, who tend to be good travelers, going to play away at Lumwana Radiance. But Lumwana Radiance had hit 4 wins in a row, and then this one made it 5. So clearly, they are the informed team, because even NAPSA Stars, out of their last 5 games, only 1-1. They just had a string of draws, 3 draws and a loss and 1 win in the last 5.
And they've put pressure on themselves.
Yes.
Because they were comfortably leading the log, but they dozed off, and they are waking up. Lumwana is already up there. If they are not very careful, they might slump down further. Because just that win, you'll be shocked that it has taken Trident down. I think about 6th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they're number 6.
They were second. That's what it means. You snooze, you get yourself slumped down, and that's what is happening. So you really need to have your eyes open, because it's really getting hotter, and it's going to go to the wire for those that really need to get the league.
Yeah. And Arthur, very deserving of Lumwana and NAPSA being the candidates to go into the APSA Cup. Your view?
You're talking about people who've been there before in the Premier League. They know what to do. They don't belong there. And so they're trying to show you that we don't belong here. We want to go back where we belong. And football is about merit. All what's happening is happening on merit, Pius.
Yeah.
They're not small teams. So for me, that is a good direction, and I wish them well. I hope they can finish the same way. That's why for
the
me,
other half.
this one is really tough, especially for teams like Nchanga Rangers.
Yeah.
Dislodging the top 4 will be very difficult, because you're talking about the those 2 slots like NAPSA and Lumwana. These are 2 guaranteed.
Yeah, for NAPSA, at the time they were going into the mid-break,
they were already.
Yes.
Yeah,
but then
they may suffer here and there, but you can almost call their positions, the 2 positions, guaranteed. I don't see.
No, right now they are guaranteed. Yeah. Right now they have gone. They have taken the 2 slots.
Yeah.
For the Eden University, they have taken.
Yeah. What I mean is that even going forward, even promotion-wise.
That's a different ball game altogether.
There's still so much. And
I think this
still
one,
early days.
it will be.
For me, trust me, my cards are still on the first 2 slots. I'm giving NAPS, and this, regardless of what happens, football is extremely dynamic, yes, but no matter how dynamic it is, for NAPSA and Lumwana, I think they will come back
at the end of it all.
Yes.
No. I tend to disagree with such a statement, because
though using that dynamic, if we assume they will be consistent in second half, Lumwana and NAPSA, if we talk about then what Arthur is basically saying is the other 2 slots will be a fight, basically with and it's going to be a big fight, because Kitwe United, they have picked up form in the last, let's say, 6 games or so, even though they've had a couple of losses, but they've been decent, because I mean they are 3 points
away from NAPSA.
They are in the top 4. They are 3 points away from NAPSA. FC Muza are also 3 points away from NAPSA.
You see that.
Jumulo are also 3 points away from NAPSA.
You see where the dynamic comes in now.
Trident 4 points away from NAPSA, and Changa Rangers are 5. So Changa Rangers are actually 7 points away from NAPSA, but from the top 4 rather, they are 4 points. So Changa Rangers, I don't trust them. Maybe Young Green Eagles. I don't know about City of Lusaka as well. I just don't trust in Changa Rangers and City of Lusaka. But teams have been known to pick up form in the last half. Injuries happen. Different
so
dynamics,
many fundamentals. The league can be stopped because of COVID.
Yeah.
Survival fight is another thing.
Yeah, but I think what NAPSA and Lumwana have
is a lot of
going for them is that they didn't lose so many players from the core of of their Premier League team.
I think I must agree with you, Arthur. Those two teams, I think they are consistent. They have been stable. They can get those 2 slots, and the other, because it's 4.
Yes.
I would have doubted them if it's only 2 slots.
Yeah.
But since it's 4 slots, sure they can comfortably get those 2, and the other 2 can be picked by other teams.
Yeah.
Maybe we share a few facts about the Eden
Yes,
University.
please go ahead.
Yeah, a few facts that I picked on the round 1 as up to week 17. A few, you can pick so many, but I thought these 7 were important. Of course, the total number of games played, 153. We were lucky. It wasn't disrupted by COVID or whatever.
Yeah.
And although we condemn referees so much, no pending case at FAS, disciplinary case or any complaint by... And I'm not saying they were perfect, but what I'm saying is, at the last time we made the search, there are no pending disciplinary cases pertaining to poor officiating and so on. So all those 153 games were played. Number of goals scored, 282. To me, we are not doing much. We have to challenge our coaches, because that translates to 1.8 goals per game. That is not good enough.
Very bad.
It's not at all.
Definitely not.
At least if we
But
get to
this
3 games
scoring
and
problem
above.
has been a problem for a long
For
time.
some time.
For me, I don't think it's the coaches to blame, because the coaches are equally not so good at making some of these strikers. By the time you're getting into the National League, you should be a good striker already. A coach should do very little, not to start teaching you how to score, which angle to score from, and all those things. I don't think those are basics which should be taught way before a player reaches such a level.
Yeah, you know why we are worried, Paris? People get excited when goals are scored. Football is about goals, isn't it?
Yes.
That's why we say ball and it's goalie.
And
You can imagine paying only to watch a 0-0 draw and go back home.
And in Eden, there have been so many nil-nils this
You see,
season.
so many.
even in the
Nil-nils
Premiership,
and 1-1s.
pass, even in the
Because I
Premiership.
expected teams to take a risk, explode in the first round, score as many goals as possible. Because what I see happening in the second round, teams will fear to be demoted.
They'll be more careful.
They'll be
more defensive.
They'll be more defensive. They'll be cautious, and I don't see us seeing more goals.
Sometimes,
So-
do you know that we cause this? We, the people that speak on the radio, we cause this, and I'll tell you why. When you say if a team goes to play away, they should try as much as possible and pick a draw. For them, they're content with that, they'll go for that. So I would want to see, no wonder even at the national team, we have a problem with attacking. Our coaches even sometimes would rather employ a defensive approach. They are doing damage control before a game starts. How? You understand? In the Premier League, who is the top scorer? Sorry, just to digress a bit.
And we
This
shall
is
come to
probably
that
10 goals,
because
if
we
not
we
less.
And we come to that because
Exactly.
So
So
also have
it's
its
a general
statistics.
problem that we have in the league, which needs to be addressed, I think, by all the stakeholders.
Sorry, before
Yes.
Alderman, before you move on, while we are still on this, I'm just going to ask very, very quickly, go around maybe 30 seconds. If our scoring is poor, can we give if I start with you, Kufa, how our defenses? Are defenses that good, or are we still a bit shambolic, just the scoring is not that good?
Well, I wouldn't attribute the low scoring rate to good defending, no. It's just the bad strikers who are shy at trying on the go. The other problem is the approach which the coaches use when they are facing these teams. Already people are talking about Zanaco being paired with the Arab teams. All they are saying is that can they go to is it Egypt or Tunisia to go and defend, at least get a draw. In other words, they are saying go and defend so that you don't concede, then you come and do it at home. You are not guaranteed even that. And so that's where it all
His
starts.
30 seconds is up.
Okay.
I'm with
Other-
timekeeper.
I will keep your time as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
How good are the defenses?
They are very poor, both the defense and the striking force. Past in the last 10 years, there's no player you can actually single out and say, "Wow, what a player." The Kwaba, from the time in Besuma left, so when it comes to scoring, we just don't have the material. Period.
And Alderman,
Yes.
are you
Partly It's because of development. Football has evolved. The defenses have been also good. You can't talk of the yesteryears when Yuka was scoring over 100 goals. They'll chase. They'll make sure you are closed down. So partly, it has been because of good defenses, but also we have been rigid in bringing in creativity in terms of formations. This we have talked about time and again. Why not bring in formations where opportunities are availed for scoring more goals? Yeah,
On a scale,
because 1.8,
it's low.
It's quite
We
low.
should have at least 3.
Yeah, at least
Three goals per
two
game.
or three.
Even 2.5 passes is not
But you see, Pass, this is where I have an argument. Where are we coming from? We are coming from, if we say the last 10 years, the top scorer in Zambia probably has scored 13 goals.
Okay, don't preempt that because that's when we are going to, so that you can
You
debate,
see,
so that
me,
you
I don't come with papers
so
in
that
the
you can,
studio.
so,
So what comes in the
so that you
mind?
can, so that you can debate properly. Because after getting an average of 1.8 Papayas,
Yes.
the top scorer in National League,
Pedro Miguel.
Pedro Miguel has scored only 13 goals.
Yeah.
All right, that is not good enough because assuming he scores the same number in the second round, that's what Wakufa is saying.
And the
now.
chances of scoring 13
That's what
goals in the
Wakufa is
second
saying.
round
Because
are
to
very
come to
slim.
26, is that good enough?
And by Elderman,
Huh?
the second round is tougher than the first.
You are right.
So the chances
For
of
me,
him
I think
scoring-
26 is okay.
No, but
No,
Pass,
26 is fine.
26.
26
I
is
think
fine.
for
The assumption is that he keeps scoring even in the second.
But
which is not
You-
easy.
let's take a point from Arthur.
You see,
Second round, he won't be allowed to score 13 goals.
No, a
But-
good player
but-
should not look at the.
but you see, the thing with also, if you look at Pedro Miguel, his first 10 goals were about in the first 6 matches.
Yes,
6 matches. And then he went quiet.
he went quite almost 9 games.
Yes.
And only scored, I think, last week.
Yes. He only scored last
Lack
week.
of consistency.
Yes.
So how does he? What is the assurance that he is going to get the 13 goals? Like Arthur said, problems come in. Teams
Exactly.
don't want to engage. They will catch you on the counter. They will avoid scoring. Losing.
But I'm going to bring another argument, not for us to digress so much. Gentlemen, we watch a lot of Zambian football. And one thing which I've also, I'm going to go back to the strikers. Even though I think defenses have become better and whatnot, but strikers are missing sitters. It's like shooting.
Yeah.
I would sit there and watch a striker shooting a ball, and I'll be like, you know what? Me, I go on radio. I do my job, and I do it like this. Him, when he has, he goes for training
every day.
every day, and then on the
And even
actual
just
day,
plays.
he's given him and the goalkeeper alone, and he fails to shoot, and he does a bundu into the crowd. And you see, there are some certain chances, yes, which are difficult, but there are some clean-cut chances strikers are not putting away. The quality for me is low, and I don't know. On a scale,
No, you're right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give Zambian local strikers maybe 4.5. It's slightly below average.
In A3.
Because if average is 5, then we are below average in the way we are putting chances away. That's why there's such a low goal scoring rate.
Yeah, and you see, you want to attribute that to good defending.
And yeah, that's what I'm
let
saying.
me just point at
Yeah.
some of the teams. Power Dynamos, how good is their defense? Not good.
No, it's been
Zes-
it's been terrible this season. It's been
Zesco
terrible.
United, how good is their defense?
That's why Papa,
Not good.
That's why I was saying,
Yes, sir.
can we wait because that is also coming.
I'm
So we
trying-
shall
I'm trying to
preempt
build a
and
case.
make
Not about-
Okay,
Let me land,
we'll,
let me
we'll,
land,
we'll,
let me
we'll
land.
let you go in just now.
Yes.
Let me land.
Yes,
Look at Zanaco. How good is their defense? Not so good.
not so good.
Buffaloes. How good is their defense? Not so good. So you cannot, on average, if all the teams that the defense is not good, then you cannot assume that they've been okay because some of the games have been 0-0. Some of them, who could have a Wama striker? That's what we can attribute that to. We don't have strikers. Let's face it. That's why we cannot point. Today we go to the national team. We say let's get a top striker.
From where?
Players like Moses Piri, who was top scorer last season, cannot even make the first team in the national team because he's not good enough. Players like this guy from from Green Buffaloes, Friday Sam, whose goals, half of the goals are penalties. And he's almost getting it as a top scorer. Yes, it's okay to score, but a good striker should not rely on penalty set piece. No. Good striker, fight for your goals.
Now,
but anyway, even in Europe, Ronaldo had scored more of those penalties. So I think let's credit them when they make it.
No, but if half of your goals are going to be penalties, then you're not worth the... Because even the goalkeeper can score.
But so that we can give Alderman to continue, but I'll qualify the whole poor defense thing one more time in that, have you seen Zambian teams when they play in Africa? We especially if you let's forget even about the group stage. If you look, the preliminary stage. You look at NAPSA in the group stage last year. You look at who was it was NAPSA. Who else represented us last year? Not Zanaco.
Bidcon.
No,
last Forest Rangers.
Yes,
No.
Forest. It was Forest.
No,
and
in the group stage. In the group stage,
They were conceding three goals per game.
Okay, yeah, in the group stage.
it was Zesco.
It was Zesco.
Yes, NAPSA and Zesco. If you remember their games,
2 or
they
3
were
goals per
conceding
game.
silly goals.
Yes.
Silly goals. Where Nkana. Remember Nkana? I even some of the games Nkana played, they would play better than the team they are playing against, but they will lose on silly goals conceded. That's
poor defense.
That is poor defending.
Yeah.
It is not, because sometimes we like, no, Tuarite, we know, but
They are content with getting a draw pay.
you know, exactly.
You can't be
Alderman,
content with that.
we'll come back.
Okay, we have been talking
You can
about that.
continue,
Then
yes.
the sharpest front line
Sharpest front line.
was Quito United, Chingalika. I was surprised by this statistic anyway, because looking at the front line, maybe that's why Kufa is raising issues. They scored 25 goals. That was the biggest number of goals scored by one team in the first round.
Yeah.
And then the meanest defense, the defense which allowed the smallest number of goals, was Jumulo. They only conceded 10 goals. We should give kudos this promotion side, eh?
And how many did they
know.
score? So what's the positive? I mean, what's the difference?
The
No,
difference.
their score scoring was poor. They only
poor.
scored 16 goals.
You see that? So they only have +6.
Well, we are looking at the number of goals that they conceded.
But
They
Alderman,
considered
me,
the list.
I have a different statistic for the meanest front line. It's Trident with 27 goals.
It's 27?
It's 27.
For Trident?
Yes.
Okay,
And then
maybe-
Chingalika.
Yeah, maybe I must have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
But the team which shipped in most number of goals, I hope this one we don't differ. It was Livingston Pirates. They allowed 26.
yes, it is definitely Livingston Pirates.
So these are good charitable organizations. They just donate, literally. Donate goals,
26
Big
goals.
hearted. They're big hearted.
Yeah.
They got big hearts.
And you know, this is a team from Livingston. I played that team during my times. They've been quite odd in this division.
Yeah.
Papas,
Tawaya Pamulu, Tawawe.
I didn't know Jumur has such an organized defense. Imagine being a promotion side and allowing only 10 goals. They need to be given.
And you know, that's an asset. They
Yes.
just need to improve on the scoring. And I'll even say it now on radio. And if anyone from Jumulo is listening, you will qualify for the Premier League as long as you start scoring. Because it seems behind, there's no problem.
For sure.
I watched them play young Green Buffaloes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think
We're together.
We were together. Yeah. Though they still believe in Juju, and they want to change outside. They couldn't go to the changing room.
Where were they playing from?
From Quito.
Oh.
So
Zesco has failed to go in their dressing room. A lot of other teams have refused, including Mighty, to go in that dressing room.
At Quito United.
So, well, it can be a belief, but maybe there's some truth to it.
No, but listen.
what the
Pius,
truth is?
you felt-
What the truth name? No, come on.
Pius, you refuse.
No.
Okay, we are not going down that road.
No,
Not
no.
today. Not today.
No.
But Pius, on a serious note.
We are in 2021. We shouldn't be.
No, but we should have
No, Takwaba. There is no juju.
Even the Bible says so.
There is no juju.
Yeah.
kuti twachesha nakaviri. There is no juju.
You see, okay, you see the difference between me and Elderman? Elderman was the referee. And I think you officiated some
I
of
was
the games.
also a player, by the way.
Yeah,
I doubled this. I didn't play professional league.
Yeah, you didn't
but
play,
I was a
I'm talking
captain.
from the professional side. Elderman would just come inspect the team and everything. But as players, we know sometimes it's not even in the dressing room that you do this juju thing. Away from the dressing room.
It's
You see
real,
that?
yeah.
Let me say this, Papayas.
Ask Bagana.
If you have it, what I'm saying is it doesn't work.
No, it's a big
Period.
you have for it.
Juju
If you
does
believe
not
something,
work.
it works for you. If
Because
you believe that what
if-
happened
listen,
drunk,
If
sir, you'll be
there was
drunk, you'll
if
be
there was
singing, oh,
juju, people would just go for that juju and stop spending on expensive players, on expensive coaches. Why spend so much? Just
Anyway,
give
Pius,
this
let's
coward
not go
man.
down that route.
Just
because
give this coward man some, some little money, and you win all the games.
Yes. We
Okay.
will not go
So
down that
we-
road
we-
today.
okay.
We'll try it
This is for
another
another
day,
day.
but
Yeah, Rico, that's why I can't get them dressing room.
But in past, you refuse to go into the dressing room and you still lose the game.
Yeah. So what does it mean?
They're just reducing the damage, I'm sure. They could have lost 5-0.
other man continue.
No, I've actually those are the
Yeah,
just
for-
a few I picked.
Yes.
And I thought I was impressed with Jumulo, like I said, baby born with teeth, but it's not by accident, Pius. This is a team which is being managed very well.
Yeah.
As we are talking, they are already in Luansha. They are in their mid-season break. They know what happens to our players. They can get excited, start drinking, and by the time they come, they come
Fitness
back.
is early,
Fitness is gone.
Yeah.
The only thing he's waiting for is 5 girls
So,
who impregnated during
They
the
are
break.
already in Luansha, and on Saturday they have arranged 2 friendly matches, and on Friday they are playing in Ghana at 13 hours, and then they will play another team, I think, later in the week. By the time they wind up, the league opens. So that's how serious. This is a team which camped in Livingston for pre-season.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a Division 1 team which did that. So, you see, you will harvest what you... It's not about the juju here. You reap what you sow. Simple as all that.
Okay. So, moving on, I think we can go to the Premier League now. And we had 2 rescheduled...
Small correction, Pius.
Yes.
Super League. Because if you say Premier...
The Zambian
means
Super League.
Yeah.
The
it
MTN
means
Zambian Super League.
Yes.
I'll mention the
Premier League
sponsor
means
as well.
The Premier League means National Division 1, Super League, and even our League for Women. That constitutes the Premier
Premier.
League. So if we say Premier, one would be saying, which one now? Because it's
Okay,
the
let
three.
me
So
not confuse
ours is
anyone.
the Super League.
Chisungwich. Semantics.
No, it's not even semantics. That's how they are stated. It is Super League. Okay? Premier is a combination of National League and the Super League. Are we together? And then, of course, you are adding our...
I think these are new
women's league.
terminologies they are bringing.
No,
out.
they've been there.
They just brought them recently.
Yeah.
In
It's
the
not
past,
the-
there was Premier League, there was Division
Premier
1,
League,
North,
It's
Division
not
one.
recent.
South. And
A Premier...
Pre-
Okay, from
Premier was
2018. That's what I'm stating.
Yeah.
All right?
so those are just
So
confusions that somebody...
let's refer to the league where Nkana Power are as Super League.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can proceed.
Okay, we had 2 fixtures over the last week as some of the backlog of games which are in the MTN Zambian Super League, and there was a double header in Kabwe. Kufa, you have the results of the double header in Kabwe.
I have
That is that was Kabwe Warriors. Actually, let me just say the 2 Kabwe teams lost.
I tell you, there was a funeral in
Yeah, Kabwe.
both hosts.
Both
But
hosts.
Lost.
that's what you get when you don't show seriousness.
Yes.
Of course, if we talk about Prison Leopards and Zesco, Prison Leopards, prior to this game, They had a game that was postponed because of the number of COVID cases,
Yes.
which they had recorded. So I am believing at that point the cases were no longer there and they were ready to play. But of course, it did not go their way. And Zesco managed to actually sneak to the second slot as a result of that win.
Pius,
Yes.
I don't know if we are analyzing that
No,
game
please.
before we
let's
give us the
analyze.
other one. Yeah, I was very disappointed with the performance of Zesco. This is the team which everyone is banking on to carry Zambia on their shoulders. In as far as keeping our 4 slots is concerned, they really struggled against Prison Leopards, and in the second half, it was all Prison Leopards. The undoing for Prison Leopards was poor finishing. They were hopeless in the final third. They could have won that game easily, 3 or 4-1. Clear-cut chances, not half chances, but
The same clear-cut chances we've been talking
Exactly.
about.
Exactly.
So was
what you
Zesco
were
defense
saying.
good? No, it wasn't.
Exactly what you were saying. It's a combination. Wakufa. Definitely, here is a combination. So Zesco has a lot of work to do. That's why I think one of the SMS messages we have received, somebody is not happy, saying although we are number 2, we are not happy. Look at the material that Zesco have, the sponsorship. You have been boasting that they are better than Power, but this is a team which was kicked out of CAF competitions.
Did Power
Very,
play?
very,
Did Power
very-
play in the CAF competition?
Very early. I'm talking about Zesco here.
Yeah.
Very
Guy, you
early.
are saying we've been boasting
Very
now.
early, you see. So now, Prison Leopards were to blame. They dominated this game in the first half, and they should have at least scored even 2 goals. They allowed Zesco to carry maximum points, which I think Zesco did not deserve. If the performance of the 2 teams was anything to go by.
Yeah.
And plus, it was very funny. If you look at the jerseys, if you don't properly concentrate and look at which team is Zesco, you actually think Prison Leopards was actually Zesco. Because they were playing better. And because the guys were in green, thinking, okay, police, I'm sure everybody for green. I was actually shocked at some to actually think, oh, actually was Zesco off with a green. That was very bad performance. But I think what Numa needed to understand is if you look at the average age of the players at Zesco, most senior players now are fuller. They've got about 8 senior players.
Are they adding value?
0.
Okufula, it's not an issue. If they're
0
adding
value. They're all at 30% performance. And that's why he's even having difficulties managing them. He needs to get rid of.
Yeah, but on a Friday, Arthur, he did a blend of old and
No matter how
young.
much blending you do,
The problem,
old is just-
I've said personally, I've said
Zesco
it.
just
I've
need
said
an
it
overhaul.
time and again
Zesco overhaul,
on this
period.
program and elsewhere. But Numba doesn't seem to know who is the starting lineup. He has brought in a rotation policy, which, in my view, is disadvantaging the club. You can have a rotational policy, but you should have a bulk of a team, and then maybe change maybe 1
Plus
or 2,
minus.
3 players. But in his case, he changes 6, 7. So
And
you
he
don't
doesn't
know.
even have depth in his
He
squad.
doesn't have so much depth, so you don't know which Zesco side would turn up the other day. Mova has disappeared all of a sudden. Who has been a hero? We don't know the reasons.
I'm
For
sure
2
Mova-
weeks-
Mova is there.
For 2 weeks, he was not even in play.
Yeah. Why he was not there? He was unwell. I think the game they played with Zanaco, he fell ill whilst in camp, and that's why that game he did not start. The one who started was Edward Lungu, the guy they bought from Kitwe United. So maybe he has not just fully recovered, but all I know is that he was unwell, and that's why he hasn't been playing.
All right. I just want to bring in another aspect just before we continue. While we are on this topic of Zesco, looking at a team like Zesco, Oderman, you said something to the fact that Zesco is the team that I'll say which we look to,
Yes.
or which we have been looking to.
Gives us hope.
Kufa even said over the last 10 years to bring us glory in Africa. For instance, there's a text message which had come, which was saying that
Even if
a
we
team is looking at building, giving itself, let's say, a project of 4 years to win the CAF Champions League. And gathering from that text, how do you keep players? How do you manage them? Do you have to sell the vision to them such that they won't move? Because for Zesco to have ambitions of winning the CAF Champions League, I know they don't have the cash which, let's say, Raja Casablanca or Al Ali or Pyramids have. But somehow, somewhere, you need to keep your best players. And keeping them happy means paying them well, looking after them. And you, for example, if, let's say, Muba is playing well, for example, right now, let me take Muba, for example. The usual trend is you find Orlando Pirates is knocking at the door. Simba is knocking the other side. Maybe
even Kaiser Chiefs.
Or yes, or Berekan. And maybe the package you can see is 3 times, 4 times bigger than what he has at Zesco. But how do you build a team? Because unfortunately, that's the dynamic which we have. Do we have a chance? And this is not only Zesco. It's happened to Ghana. When you're looking like you can move to the next level, you start losing players, and you have no choice sometimes.
Yeah, for me, yes, money is usually a factor, but I'll still tell you something, that sometimes it's not the money that motivates the players. Sometimes it's because I just want to move. And so in wanting to move away, you discover that you go to a wrong club because maybe even the money was higher, but the motivation was you wanted to move. We've seen players, some of the players moving from top teams. Say he moves from Zanaco, he goes to Forest Rangers. You can't say Zanaco was paying less than Forest Rangers. Okay? So sometimes it's wrong movements that affects these players. But obviously, the major part of it is the finance part of it, because a player's lifestyle is so much motivated by the cash that they earn.
I'll give you an example.
Is it enough
locally
to sell the vision? I also want you gentlemen, to answer that question. To sell a vision to a player, you say you've bought player X, and you say in 4 years we want to be playing in the final of the Champions League.
Well, let's face it. It is revolving around the money. Football is a short career. Players will stay where they are motivated.
financially.
That's a major factor. Others can come in, yes, but main factor is, look at Tanzania. The Tanzanian league is lower than ours in Africa. It is ours is rated higher than the Tanzanian league. Yeah. So why would our players be rushing to our best players?
Rushing to Tanzania.
Rushing to Tanzania. It's the money. So the only way to do it, Papias, is to invest in the clubs so that they run professionally. Look at Pyramids. We shall come to that later, I know. This team was born less than 7 years ago. But look at what it has achieved. It's because of the cash. So we have Zesco United, whose package was reduced. I mean, whose sponsorship was reduced by government last year. It's not a secret. They were ordered as a parastatal. You can spend up to so much because of the measures, the austerity measures that are coming. Do you expect to compare? I mean, to compete with the hourly pyramid? We are jokers. We really, some people need to just come in, put in a bit of money, and start competing. That's it. How much does the piece of money get? You think Sundowns would just have let him go like that? It revolves around the
but for Pizzo, I don't think it was money. For Pizzo, he had achieved what he needed to achieve at Sundowns.
Do you know how much? Do you know the difference?
Money is.
I was just reading this afternoon. Do you know the difference between what he was getting,
but I'll tell you,
and what he gets now? If you see that difference, you won't even talk like what you are talking.
I don't think Sundowns can still fail to pay him what. Sundowns is a big.
It's
a huge thing.
Come on. It's almost 10 times. Oh, don't joke.
But you see, Pass, the other factor, like I was saying, sometimes it's a game time. If a player is not having game time at Nkana, They would rather go to a club, smaller club, not because of the money, but because of the game.
But
time.
what Papias is challenging us to is to look at how our pedigree can be raised
How can we get to the
to
next
that
level?
Because you see,
Because
already
we are victims
when people
of-
saw the fixtures this afternoon about where Zanaco is presenting us, what was they saying? What were they saying? Oh, Zanaco now fine. What Papias is talking about? When are we going to reach a level where we're going to say it's a fair draw? Anything
Anything can happen.
can happen.
We are not producing players. We can never get there. And I'll tell you, we rushed to implement these clubs. They rushed to implement the quotas system. For me, it should have been a gradual process. I think there was a bit of time given. Look, if you look at clubs now, almost all the clubs, they are almost dealing away with their foreign-based players. Okay? Yes, we are not refusing some of the players, foreign players. We are not good than our players. But on average, if you look at locally everywhere, you will not see a good player.
But
tell
I don't
me
agree.
the good player, and then we compare them to some of the players that we have.
I don't agree. In Egypt, they only allow 3 foreign players. They've been dominating us.
They've got
They've
quality.
been-
Do you have quality?
They've been dominating us.
They have quality.
Why don't we have quality? Why don't we have quality?
We are not investing in
it's
it.
Precisely. That's what I was saying. So we need investment in these clubs. Period. Somebody just have to bite the bullet and
Pius, you know what?
start investing.
I'll give an example of. I think this gentleman has spoken a lot. I'll give an example of Zesco. You know where Zesco messed it up? They got very good players and they had a very good team. When the Zesco was at their prime, they needed to sell off some players so they can recapitalize their project. That's what you do in football. So now they've let Jesse Were run to a point where his value
is not
zero.
sellable.
It's not sellable. That's a mistake that you make in football. Make sure if you've got 5 great players, sell off 2 or 3 who will give you a good return and you reinvest.
But they did that to Kambole. Who did they bring? They were selling Kambole at his peak.
Now have landed pass and reinvest. As Zesco reinvested from the sales they've done zero. They only brought in more.
They haven't done much.
They've just not done anything.
In all honesty.
And more,
That's
they-
why
This
hasn't
question
done much.
Papias has asked, I think should be answered. The dominance by the North African teams has been too much.
Because they reinvest.
You know?
And I think
That's the point.
There's
Zesco reached a point where wherever they were going in Africa, they were conquering. Zesco was beating teams in in West Africa, in North Africa.
Exactly.
From North Africa until Pakanapola South, they were beating everyone. Zesco was feared by any team per continent.
and Zesco has made a name.
They have made a name.
But now
they failed to maintain it, Pius. That's what the problem
even
is.
though and you see right now Zesco are number 2 points off Green Buffaloes, but gentlemen, they're not
They
playing
can't compete, Pius.
they're not playing football like they're a dominant force.
This
know-
time around,
Pius, Zesco
they would have been
4-0,
leading.
5-0.
They would have
Local
been
games.
leading by about 9 to 15 points.
Yes. Zesco was how
When
many
Zesco
people?
was
4-0.
Zesco, by this time they would have been maybe 14, 16 points
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
You know.
And okay, I'm picking on something which Kufa also said. I think one other thing I think which can probably help us if we don't have money, which you have all alluded to. It's about the capital which a team has. Is we need a conveyor belt of players.
Yes.
We just don't have enough players coming off the conveyor belt which can.
Internal.
You see, the thing is, if you're going to be, if today you have player X, Y, and Z who are playing for your team and they are brilliant, and you know at the end of the season you might lose them, you need to have player A, B, C, which you can get player
Backup.
A from Forest Rangers, player B from Nkana, and player C from Kitwe United, and they are good players. But the thing is, those player A, B, and C, it's difficult if you sell. If you are saying today, for example, Moba is shining for Zesco. If Zesco sell Moba to Kaiser Chiefs tomorrow, who is going to replace Moba? You know, that is the biggest headache, I think, which is also there. If that equation can be solved locally, if there's enough players coming off the conveyor belt, maybe we can have a chance.
Rwanda Mina had it. Luanda Mina had 3 teams, just like Arthur said. When Zesco was well run, he used to have 3 teams and there was healthy competition there. But somehow they've messed it up.
They held on to players for too long.
Yeah.
So now they're just wasting money.
Yeah,
they
because
have a huge budget. The wage bill is very high for what? Kalengo.
Kalengo 10 years ago, he was there.
Now he's still there.
And he was.
And when it comes to player management,
Jess Jackson, Were has been there
Miranda, what are they doing?
for a long time. Yes.
And the age difference between their coach and the players.
Yes, they have the experience, but experience is not a guarantee that they'll churn out the best results.
As well.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Well, the second game.
Second game, it was Cabo Warriors losing at home to Zanaco. Again, I was hoping Cabo Warriors might be able to push in a fight for APSA Cup, but they lost it.
Brilliant chance of playing APSA, but they messed it up. They were at home. They allowed Zanaco to get maximum points. They went to bed in the first half. They were punished. You know, when you give chance to Moses, baby police, he will punish you.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, they tried to fight back. It was late. And that was the end of the road for their APSA Cup dreams. That was the end. And the Warriors usually loses it on the last day. Remember, even the other time, they were winning all the games. They lost a crucial game. We're out of Continental. I don't remember the end.
You were just winning the league as well.
So
under tenant.
they need to. Yeah. You remember.
And until maybe 3 weeks ago, they had good form. Warriors.
Very
And then
good
now
form.
they hit 2 losses in a row, and it has cost them APSA Cup, because you add 6 points to this 23, which they already have. They would have been
29.
Yes,
straight.
Exactly. They would have been number 2, but just that small things can remove you.
Small details.
Not only from being number 2, but being out of APSA.
But do you know what that means? They are content with smaller things.
Because they're a small team.
Well, Kawara supporters will argue with you. But I'm saying, if you are content with a Corolla, when they give you a Ferrari, you will still pack it.
You just be washing it and cleaning it.
Because a Corolla, you can take it on the rank.
It's all about Papas, it's all about budgets.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday? I was looking at the budgets of all these teams. Hey, it's something else. People just play football for passion, I'm telling you. Those budgets are nothing to talk about. Warriors has also been struggling.
The biggest problem that we have in Zambia right now, there's no club which is running a club as a business. For as long as you don't look at it as a business, you will never develop to great heights. It's just football Mozambique, by the way.
You see, this was the argument we had a few years ago. I was saying, I actually pointed at teams. I said, if Zesco Limited was to pull out from Zesco United completely, Zesco United is dead. If all the service teams, their sponsors were to pull out completely, those teams are dead. If the banker, Zanaco, is to pull out from Zanaco, Zanaco is dead. If Mopano... So, if clubs cannot come up with a good strategy, marketing strategy, that is going to bring them revenue and sustain them with or without the main sponsor, then we will be getting it right. Right now, we are not getting it right, and we'll never do that. So even these clubs, at some point we are talking about club licensing. These are the things that they were talking about. You needed to have your own stadium. You needed to have your own legal team. You needed to have a good medical team. Now, if you are going to talk about legal, you're talking about a lawyer. You need a lawyer in the team. How much is a lawyer worth? Probably all the bonuses of the players combined in one salary. So we cannot sustain such expensive things because there's no plan. And then I'm shocked. This is where I laugh. If a team says, this is our marketing department, what are they there to do? Just to put billboards in the stadium and those advertising placards in the stadium.
Marketing has levels also.
This is you see, just football itself, it's a marketing tool on its own.
Yeah.
You don't need to market football. People will follow you because of your brand, your brand. It's a question of how are you going to spice it with your marketing team. But we have got marketers who do not even understand the basic marketing skills.
Can I give you an example of, when we were at the Power 50 years last week? Who was I? I was telling one of my colleagues, I was saying that I think Power Dynamos can do better when it comes to marketing. For example, talking about my own team, because if you look at just availability of small things, key holders, just t-shirts, not even jerseys, t-shirts, caps, scarves, that kind of thing. When a team will be easily able to offload such things in such that they are readily available, it can happen. And I was even saying, I think CEC should not even be the shirt sponsor on the front.
Who doesn't know CEC?
That shirt sponsor, CEC should be somewhere on the sleeve or something.
But
that
that's why
shirt
they put
sponsor
cake
should
now,
be
I think.
sold
Yes.
to a big sponsor. Give for example, you're supposed to have like FNB there as the lead sponsor on the shirt. Power is a big team in Zambia, you know. So I mean, those are all marketing opportunities. I know, okay, maybe if we had someone there from there sitting here, they'll say no, we've tried all that. But I mean, I think we need to try harder. The money is out there. It's just convincing someone to sign the check.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. That's why the South African League is well marketed. I remember there was a club, I think, where is it Shonga? No, I've forgotten. One of the players, they used to wear a Volkswagen jersey, and each player was given that vehicle. You don't use any other vehicle when you're at that club. It's a good package for a player. Wherever you are, I mean, you're advertising that product, and people are able to buy. But hey, we can sit and talk the whole day. We are not marketers. Anyway.
Like we were saying on the marketing side, I think if I said to how do you have someone doing business with Mopani? The money that he makes from Mopani is even able to run his team elsewhere. Doesn't make sense. If Mopani can adopt the same concept, have 3, 4, 5 companies that are supporting the team directly, that is a burden off Mopani. It's simple and deliberate policies. Think
we give you a contract, you have to
10% of whatever 10% of whatever you're earning of your profit will be channeled to Nkana. It can work. It's just the willingness and the commitment on the
This
company.
is where we are saying, what are the marketing guys in these teams doing?
Those are simple things you can actually suggest.
Kukana ba innovative.
If you remember past when this professional football came on board, I'll give an example. I grew up in Chingola. When it comes to Manchanga Rangers, they had a sports shop that they were operating. There's a sports shop, and they had a company that was giving mini meal, essential commodities like groceries. That's where the nickname cowbell comes from. Manchanga Rangers. They started giving out a cowbell to Ashmain. If that concept was enhanced, by now all these companies, Kamana and Kanema teams, and Gary was self-sustaining. That concept was very good past. You want to buy shoes, you want to buy a sports kit, you go to that sports shop and get, and they cut off your salary. That concept was brilliant past, but it was shut down and died.
Okay.
I'm sure Nkana also had the same platform.
Anyway,
Other man,
that result pushed Kyle Warriors.
yes, let's look at
in the fringes.
let me just give the table. I didn't give with Eden University table, but okay, I'll come back and give that. Let me give the table, then you can pick up the statistics from the Zambian Super League. Konkola Blades at the halfway point sit at the bottom.
For a change, Papias, why can't you start from the top?
No.
Let's start from the bottom.
You always confuse people like that.
Konkola Blades number 18, 12 points. Chambishi number 17, 15 points. Lusaka Dynamos number 16, 15 points. 15 Indeni, 18 points. 14 Kafue Celtic 18 points. Prison Leopards 13, 19 points. Kansanshi Dynamos 12, 20 points. Zanaco 11, 22 points. Cabo Warriors 10, 23 points. Forest Rangers 9, 24 points. Buildcon 8, 25 points. Power Dynamos 7, 25 points. Kwazi 6, 25 points. Red Arrows 5, 26 points. Nkana 4, 26 points. Green Eagles 3, 28 points. Zesco United number 2, 28 points. And GBFC, after not winning in over 5 games, top with 30 points.
And counting. Not winning and counting.
Yeah, they need to find their feet.
Oh,
They need to find their
They have
feet.
to.
Interestingly enough, number 11 and number 5 are separated by only 4 points.
4
Oh, sorry,
points.
number 4
Yeah.
are separated by only 4 points.
Which is
This
one
league is tricky.
It's very tricky.
11
So
and
maybe we go to
and
the,
4.
the facts now about a few
After, before you come
statistics.
in, yes, let's
Yeah.
just finish off.
Total number of games played, 150. There are 3 more games to go. I think Red Arrows have 2.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the one between Prison Leopards and the Kafue Celtic. So there are 3 games to go. These statistics are based on the 150 games because first round should be 153. Number of goals scored, 283. Still not convincing. It's not different from, not so different.
And have you worked out the average per goal per game?
Yes, I have.
Mm.
It's still 1.8 again.
It's poor.
It's very, very poor.
Poor.
It's poor bias. Let's face it.
And this is top flight.
filafine bachita
Top flight.
baingishafika goka mu kipa lala
So-
nangwela ayamukulala kwa
And you know what?
Yeah.
And one striking,
This guy is
Yes.
even
No.
more.
one
You even had the
striking,
pillow in the goal.
one striking statistic. It's like they found each other. These guys. Friday Sam has 13 goals. Miguel
13 goals.
13 goals. 2 different leagues.
Uh-huh.
283. The other team scored 282. Of course, the Super League will have slightly more
Yes.
because of the 2 games, but the difference is not much.
Yes.
Is it showing that our standards are the same irrespective of the league? I think it's not.
The
It's not
statistics
exciting.
are almost identical.
Almost identical.
Eden University and Super League.
The standards are poor everywhere.
Then the meanest defense, which has allowed only 9 goals, I got surprised.
Same last year. They've maintained.
They say, Nkwazi.
filafine kaidi
Nkwazi.
batamba bola bale lala lala
Now, if you look at that defense, they don't have prominent names, like Arthur said. Is it the system? Is it because they're energetic? I don't know. We have to investigate because I don't see any. If there was any very good defender there, it should have been a national team.
Mm.
You know, so the sharpest front line, I think it was before they got tired, and that's where even the top scorer is from there. It's GBFC. They've scored 29 goals. 29 goals, gentlemen. 17 games. Is that okay for a team?
No.
Certainly not. Not a very competitive
50.
league.
Mm.
You know.
No, it's not good enough.
And
Well,
of course,
I might disagree with you. 29 is fairly good. 17 games, 29 goals,
No.
it's fairly good.
No.
It's fairly.
do you know that I was looking at other leagues who have scored 43?
40 times 2 is a
They've
minimum,
scored
guys.
35.
Which league? I hope it's
Okay.
not the Ethiopian Premier
But
League.
look at Kufa.
Can I
or,
check?
or the
2 is
Tanzanian
supposed-
Premier League.
Let Papas check.
Can I? Okay. Let's my. Okay, we'll come back. My.
Yeah.
The technology
There is
is
need
pretty
for
down.
us to check, you know, because
Okay,
I
I'll
think
come
we're
back.
not-
I'll
we're not
come back
scoring
to
so
you on
many
that
goals.
one. My connection here seems to have gone off.
okay.
Okay.
Then
Yes.
the weakest defense in the Super League, which allowed so many goals, it was Indeni they allowed 22 goals.
But they're still safe.
They're
How
not.
can you be in relegation and have a good record?
They're in relegation. And then one statistic which caught my eye was that the promotion sides have struggled. They have really.
And they are the ones who started off well.
They started off well, but indeed, boys have been separated from men.
They were
Because
just pretenders.
Two of those, I like that. Two of the four are in the relegation zone, and of course Celtic is just above. The only team which is a bit comfortable is Kansanshi, and even Kansanshi you find is not very
They're
far.
just playing for survival.
You
basically.
know, so boys will remain boys. Perhaps it's cruel.
This is the problem of just wanting to go to the Super League, just to go and play there.
As a visitor,
This is what you say.
tourist.
Uh-huh.
No,
So they will
our
do
objective,
and go back.
what's your objective? To play Super
To
League.
play
next
Super
season.
League. You should
But how are you going to, going to play?
Plan
they need to
beyond
answer the
you.
how. I think that's when they'll start getting it right. Everyone can aspire to play anywhere, but how you are going to do it when you are there,
and staying
that's
there.
what matters.
Yeah.
Staying there.
So Pius, this first round
Okay.
gave us.
I'm ready for you with regards to
Yeah,
countries.
maybe after
but
finish this
before we
topic,
start pointing fingers at how poor we are
eh,
in Angola, okay, they've at the halfway stage, they've played 14 games. The highest scorer has got 25 goals.
you see,
But
The scoring.
we are almost the same.
The scoring.
Eh?
Yes.
No, but 13 games, 25 goals.
no,
The
highest
highest scorer.
That's almost.
Ours is
No,
13.
no.
So
I'm not talking about the team.
It's a player.
Because as we are at 29,
Okay.
the highest the team has
The highest team, okay.
the highest team is 29 goals at 17 games.
Eh?
This one is 25 goals at
13.
13.
Which is almost double.
Let's check
there are some more
Egypt.
games. 13,
Egypt.
14, 15,
Let
16,
me
17.
open Egypt here.
Yeah, Egypt. Yeah.
Okay, just to comparative analysis.
Eh.
Or for them, they've only played eight games. But let me give you this statistic. At Al Ali is top of the league.
Mm-hmm.
They have played 7 games
Uh-huh.
and they've already scored 19 goals.
You see.
Look at that average.
Huh?
Now,
Already.
let's say if they are scoring 19 goals every 7 games,
Meaning
it means at 14 games
they'll be at
they will be at
Over
30.
30.
They will be at
38.
38 goals.
Yes.
That's an assumption.
Zanako. No.
No,
Sorry, Zamalek.
Uh-huh.
Number 2. They have played 8 games and they've scored 17
You can
goals.
see.
They're already
It should.
over.
That's what we're saying. At
Yes,
least
two.
we
The minimum
it-
is 2 goals.
minimum 2 goals.
Yes.
Even the third team, Pyramids, they've played 7 games, scored 16 goals.
You see.
The average
So-
is 2 goals.
Let's take Tanzania. Let me let us spread the net wide just for the next 2-3 minutes. Okay, Tanzania, young Africans have in 10 games played have scored 16 goals.
That is good.
Simba out of 9 games have scored 12 goals.
That's not good.
It's not good.
That is not good. But that league is lower.
It's
Wow.
yes.
Compared
Yeah, it's a lower league. Let's take
Even
another
at
higher
lower
one.
league,
Let's
that's
go
lower.
for Tunisia.
Uh-huh.
Tunisia.
And South Africa, of course.
South Africa is just as bad as Zambia.
Tunisia. We have. I think they're in a playoff, but so it's difficult to. Yes, they're in a playoff, but it's difficult to ascertain. Let me try Morocco because they've gone into groups now. Morocco. Let's see. In Morocco, Wydad Casablanca, 15 games, 27 goals.
Yeah.
Almost like Zambia.
Almost.
No, they're slightly better.
Raja Casablanca, 13 games, 18 goals.
That's not
So on average, this is where
Yes.
this is where I draw my view.
Assumption.
It's my view that we are better.
Uh-huh.
We are not as bad.
Now, let's now look at the big leagues. I'll just pick the top 5 leagues in the world.
Yes.
English Premier League. 19 games.
How can you even make such a
It's
such a
football.
Let's just no.
It's
But you have to
football.
see where you are.
Yes.
You have to see where you are
Exactly.
in comparison with your friends.
Exactly.
You want to send your
where are we in the world?
but Kufa, you want to send your players there. You have to see at where you're going. This is what they are expecting.
You are sending,
of you.
after all, we have sent a number
Send
of
them
players.
to Czechoslovakia. That's where they belong.
No,
No, let's see, Papias, go
from
ahead.
19 games. Man City 50 goals.
Have you seen?
Liverpool 50 goals.
How can you?
You know what? This afternoon, I was comparing to one team which has scored 45. That's what I was telling Makufa. I was just comparing. One team has scored
Your
45.
comparison is way off. It's
No,
like
it's not way off.
It's not way off. It's football.
like comparing the
if
devil
you
and the-
if you know players personally who want to get into Europe,
Yes.
you have
Which-
to tell them, my friend, where you're going. If you're
This is
scoring
what it
3
is.
goals here, you have to score 6.
Yes.
my friend. Let's remain and be playing Kosafa. That's where we belong.
In
No.
in
Yeah, it's on
in
5.
Bundesliga, Bayern Munich, and in 17 games, 56 goals.
Have you seen?
And that's
what
even
we
less
should
than 19.
So
That's
you see,
where
the
we should be
comparison
going.
is way out of this world. Right? This is where I don't want you to. I didn't even to start it. I didn't even want you to go there.
You didn't even want me
because
to
I
go
knew
to
what
it.
we were going to.
It
do.
changed the
Papias,
narrative.
can you look at the Ethiopian league if you can?
So mule mona our bola na makula. So you cannot compare our bola ne kula. Let the coolers be bracket in their own. then we are getting things.
Certain
Then the
notes.
comparison is okay.
When we can produce players who are competing favorably there.
Imwe Zambia is not better than Comoros right now. Comoros is going to AFCON and Malawi. So you can't compare us even with Malawi. You can't.
Alderman asked for Ethiopia highest scorers, Fazil Kenema, 9 games, 15
Emma AG.
15 goals.
Emma AG. Emma Kulama Nenswa.
The last one, let me check South Africa.
So, yeah, check South Africa.
The last one, let me check South Africa. Then we can move on with the rest of the program.
It's interesting.
South Africa, where are you? I saw you just now.
Safa.
Oh, there. South Africa, where our players are playing. So, in South Africa, we have Mamelodi Sundowns, at least 19 goals, 33 games. Sorry, 19 games, 33 goals.
So they are high.
Not
Eva
bad.
Nenswa.
But
However,
we are in the same
Yes.
Almost
Yes.
same
We are
bracket.
We are in the same bracket.
Same bracket.
Yes.
But they are
However,
higher.
to Vilok
But they are
Salama.
higher than us, let's face it.
They are higher than us because they even pay better. But by only how many? 4 goals.
But them, they've played 2 more games than
they
us.
played 2 more games.
They've
So
played 2 more
remove the
games.
2 games. We
So-
are better than them.
So we are almost in
But
we are
last
practically
year when we did the
in the
analysis,
same bracket.
we were at 2.2 goals. That's what I'm saying. This year we have gone down.
Yeah.
We are doing analysis in this same room. It was 2.1, 2.2, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Pius, can we?
But the comparison between the game in Europe and
Europe
us,
and that's why you say Egypt is closer to Europe. Eh?
So, Pius,
So, Pius, to wind up-
the narrative.
Yes.
Yeah, first to wind up on
Let's
the-
wind up with Alderman.
on the few facts which we are looking at. If this league produced the players which I think we should take keen interest and develop, it was this time. It was in the first 17 weeks. I think a lot of people will not disagree with me when I say that Joshua Mutale, Power Dynamos, was a revelation. Definitely. The boy made the mark, and I think the national team selectors should be looking at that one. Another one, Albert Kangwanda, Kafue Celtic. These boys have a lot of promise. Ricky Banda, Red Arrows, Martin Njov, GBFC. We should not start looking at, looking for players across the borders when we can develop these youngsters.
Yeah.
To me, I think they made a mark. They offered something on the table, and if they are groomed properly, we can have a benefit from them.
Okay, so before I ask
And
you,
of course, you
gentlemen-
already gave the table.
yes,
You already gave the top 4.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
so
ABSA,
ABSA Cup
ABSA,
as at now,
6 slots.
the top 6:
The top 6.
Green Buffaloes,
Yeah.
Zesco,
There can only be one fundamental
Green
which
Eagles.
can change there.
Nkana, Red Arrows, and Inkwazi.
Yeah. Now,
Only yes.
Yeah. What I'm
Give
trying
what
to
can
say-
change, Ottoman.
there is only, since football, anything can happen. The only team out of the 6 who are threatened is Nkwazi. Because if Zanaco beat Arrows by 4-0 in their last game, it means Nkwazi will drop out of the top 6. So it will be Zanaco playing. ABSA.
Where are they going to get the 4 goals?
I'm saying football, it happens.
You see,
Football
is not-
Florida Wanderers
if they can't score
went
2
to
goals.
beat Sinda 4-0 in Tanzania.
Bwana, this
Simba
is
came here,
Zanaco.
they beat us 5-0.
This is Zanaco
So
we're
in
talking
football,
about. Where are they
anything
going to
can-
get the 4 goals?
anything
Which
can
players
happen.
will score?
Moses will score one. By
You see, I believe in miracles, but I will strongly tell you they happen in church. In football, I'm not so sure. Miracles
Take
don't
the
happen.
players to church.
Probably they should become pastors and start performing miracles.
Yeah, but on the looking at the actual probabilities, I think those are the teams, the current top 6. Okay, so can you mention them again, because people keep asking?
Top 6 and ABSA Cup qualified teams so far: Green Buffaloes, Zesco United, Green Eagles, Nkana, Red Arrows, Nkwazi, Lumwana Radiants, and Napsa Stars.
Yeah. But for Nkwazi to be out, Zanaco has to beat Red Arrows 4-0, which according to Kufa, it can't happen.
It will be a miracle.
Yeah.
It will be a miracle.
Because Red Arrows are playing very well anyway.
This is where I'm
are
where
the-
I'm
they are-
going to
And
get
they
the
have
goal.
2 games.
Red Arrows are the
They
best.
can even
Have got
push
the
Nkana
best form
out
in,
of the top
best
4.
form in the league.
Yeah.
5 straight wins compared to everyone else. The only other team in comparison, only other 2 teams in comparison form wise, maybe Nkana and Green Eagles.
Yeah.
They've got 3 wins and 2 draws, and they have not lost in their last 5. But Red Arrows, 5 straight wins, very easy for them. Okay, so gentlemen,
Can you quickly give the top scorers chart, or you can come later?
please give the
Yeah.
top scorers chart.
Yeah,
and then
as at week 17, we were lamenting, it's Friday Sam, 13 goals, a number of those coming by way of penalty. Penalties, as Kufa said. Alex,
Give the goalkeeper those penalties. You'll be the top scorer in Zambian league.
Alex Bazongonga, number 2, 7 goals. And then Godfrey Ngwenya, 7 goals.
midfield.
Jimmy Ndrovu, Kai Warriors, 7 goals. Then we come to Hosea Silwimba, another one who has been improving. Papias, watch this player, Green Eagles. He's in good form. Me, I look at the players individually. Yeah, he's been doing well. Martin Njova, I've already talked about this young man. 6 goals, GBFC. Then that's when you find a foreigner. For the first time, our top scorers chart has been taken by Zambians.
Yes.
This is the first time there where you find the first foreigner. with
and last year as well.
even last year.
Even last
Yeah,
year.
because it was Moses who won
did.
it. Yeah, but anyway, the foreigners were just close after Moses. But this time, there's Chideu. This player is from Forest Rangers. He has 5 goals. Thomas Chideu. And then Derek Blyer, Green Eagles, 5 goals. Albert Kangwanda, I talked about this young man, 5 goals. Kafio Celtic. Conlide Luchanga, in form. Hey, wayward boy is back. Scored 5 goals for Prison Leopards. He's not been with them for the whole of the first round. He just joined them recently. Ricky Banda, Red Arrows, 5 goals. Brian Mwira. This is not where we know him to be. I mean, his form has dwindled, although there's so much on the market. We shall talk about that later. He has scored 4 goals. Butcon. Clifford Mlenga, odd timer, back. 4 goals.
So mlefa wangu ya national team. Nakola igefo mwamulandira.
But what has happened to baby police? Did they have injuries?
Moses is
4 goals from a top scorer last season. Moses Piri.
He's a winner, that one.
But he was a top scorer last season.
No, he was a top striker.
He has only 4 goals. Of course, he's from Zanaco. Christopher Zulu, 4 goals. Nkwazi. Muba, Kelvin Wanga, 4 goals from Zesco. Kefas Handavu, this one is an informed player. I've been watching him. He's the one. If he then survive, he would literally have carried it on his shoulders. Yeah, he has been scoring in the last 3 games, I think.
Yeah,
he has 4 goals. So I didn't want to pick those who are scoring 3. Anyone can score 3 anyway, from free kicks and penalties, like Wakufa said.
A goal is a goal.
So what we'll do now, I think, Alderman, I'll give you to do other news, and then you gentlemen will review your halfway teams of the season.
Yeah.
With the players who you think have done well in the first half of the season, and then that's when we'll open the phone lines. Alderman,
sure.
5 minutes.
5 minutes only, and I've just picked important ones. Justin Shonga. Woo.
Yeah.
He doesn't fail to pick
I'm
headlines.
not shocked. I'm not shocked.
Now, well, he has left Ismaili due to unpaid salaries. Him says it's unpaid salaries. They are saying they've fired him. So, perhaps you and I have to investigate. Yeah, but it's bad because they had friendly matches. He was scoring. We thought he was going to pick his form so that perhaps the national team could benefit from him. But anyway, he's always in the headlines. Adam Zikiru, another player who I think has done so well for Forest Rangers. He was in Kansanshi. He was with Kansanshi. He's leaving Kansanshi to join UD Songo. UD Songo is trying to get a lot of players from Mozambique. They are getting players from. Recently, they also picked our coach. Is it the same team?
It's a different team.
It's a different one. Now, one interesting item which picked my attention was Charlie Musonda Jr. pleading with Chelsea so that he can play for free. They have refused. How can a professional how can a professional plead to play?
Yes, a contract. But well, I think sometimes to plead like that, it shows how desperate you are. He's still young. He can go to other leagues, make a mark. Of course, it won't be easy to come back.
Is it being haunted for?
Is the apex.
Is it being haunted? A lot of people are saying it's being haunted for refusing to play for.
Then we should start believing in superstition. Which
I'm saying other people are saying, not me. I was just.
His problem is like that problem which we know Nyondo from Ghana. He was a top-notch player. He played the World Cup. He won the AFCON. But because of the name Ghana, he wants to sit on the bench for 3 years and wait.
No, but for that boy, he was injured.
It has actually affected his career.
For him, yes. The last 3 years have been difficult.
Charlie, he was injured for a good number of time.
But
the change of managers
exactly. So
also affected.
When you lose favor, I was actually speaking to one of the local players yesterday. Why stay where you got no favor? So that young man, Chelsea, he must not stick around because of the name Chelsea. He can still go elsewhere. And if he's really as good as they say he is, he will reclaim his position at Chelsea tomorrow.
And they didn't tell him today that he was not going to be part of the team. They told him some time back. This is the time that I expected the manager to find a club for him. So why wait until the time that he's finally offloaded? Then he has to sit home as the manager is busy talking to, you call him the player intermediary, busy talking to the other team.
But he's got an agent.
This is what I'm saying. What was the agent doing all this time?
The agent needs to be going marketing
Especially
the boy.
that in Europe, when a player is not having game time, they'll probably call the agent and the player. They'll tell them, look, this player is not playing because of X, Y, and Z. We need him to improve. Probably he's not part of the team. Find him another team. They'll tell you that.
Didn't he overrate himself? Didn't he think he was so good?
No, I mean, take nothing away.
Okay.
The player, the
Good-
young
good is-
lad is good.
Good he is.
The only problem he had, he picked an injury that laid him off for a long time, and that
Did he break into the Chelsea side before an injury? The player isn't so. That chap who just overrated himself before the injury.
was he ever on the
Why
bench?
didn't he
was he
break?
ever on the bench?
He was.
If he was on the bench,
He
then
never
was,
played.
He was
but-
out
but-
on loan. It's only Conte who gave him a chance.
Yes.
Where he at least he was on,
So
being
in
named
short,
on the bench
so in
quite
short,
regularly.
Mwepu, the Dakas, Mwepu, even in fashion, they are better than him. They were given chance and they broke into the first lineup. That boy was just trying to be too big for nothing.
No.
We should call a spade a
For
spade.
you, older man, I know you're
Something
coming from the
happened.
direction of
He
his
refused to play
dubbed
for
as
No.
that is his
Statistics don't lie.
my hatred.
I asked you a question. Before injury, did he play for Chelsea? How many games? I can challenge you. We do keep statistics.
he was on the bench.
He-
The
he
boy
was
was
on the bench.
offloaded and was loaned to a team in Spain.
uh-huh.
Okay? If you are not good, that's what they do. That's a diplomatic way of telling you wakufa tamlafika hapo hapa. Because if you are good, they will use you. They want to get the best out
You
of
can
you.
be good, but if
You know?
your competitors are equally good, you never. And then, like we are saying, the change of managers affected him. So if I was the player intermediary for him, I would have spoken to Conte, who is at Tottenham. Conte, there's this player who we know you know very well. Maybe you can try him there. You know, that's how you. But then the coming of different players. I think Lampard came at that time. He had no plans for the boy, so you cannot say the boy was bad.
But the injuries, it's been the last 3 years of on and off injuries, so it hasn't helped him. But of course, in a sense, he did overrate himself.
Yes.
I'll agree with Oderman slightly because
No, but
Conte played him a few times, but if you remember, at one time he got upset
He complained.
because Conte kept putting him on the bench, and he kept saying, "I'm better than being on the bench,"
A professional doesn't
and he was
say that.
dropped.
Is it bad when you say that?
professional
Ibrahimovic
doesn't
told
say
you
that.
Pep Guardiola.
You
The
know?
same thing. He used the
No,
different
but that's
analogy.
Ibracadabra.
But then you see,
Is that
Ederman is
not
talking
telling
about
us
a good
that's
player should
Ibra?
not talk like that. Ibracadabra did. Samuel Eto'o did talk to Guardiola
but,
like that.
But was Chad
We are
better
not
than
bad
the?
players.
But was Chad better than the players who were playing ahead of him?
No, I'm trying to disagree with your view that a good player should not talk like that. Which is what I'm saying. No, a player can, if they are good, they feel they are good, they've done it. There's
The last
a record.
time-
This boy overrated himself.
The-
The mother came in, it became political. So where do you think it
I know
it
the
can go
angle
now?
from which you are arguing. If you were arguing from the football angle, it could have been a different.
The-
It is a football angle. Statistics are
No,
there.
you're
The last
He's being
time-
offloaded young
Let
as
me
he
give you
is.
the statistics. The last time he played for Chelsea was in 2018.
You can imagine.
And he made 7 appearances for Chelsea, 3 in the league, and then in the League Cup 2. In Europe, he made 1 appearance.
You see?
Okay.
So-
How many goals did he score?
And the Community Shield as well.
His job is not to score.
No, he scored 1 goal.
Only one.
One goal.
He's the engineer
And
of
then-
goals.
Mwepu is an engineer, but he has already.
It depends the role you're
And
given.
then he was loaned to Real Betis. That was
he played a lot
in
of games at Real
15, 16.
but
He
you
played
know,
16 goals, 16 games for Real Betis. In 2019, he was loaned to Vitesse. He played only 1 game. And
see?
also in 2019-2020 season, he played 3 games for Vitesse, and those were his last games he's played.
Finished.
So
You
Chelsea,
know, you are being loaned from
they want to
Real
offload him
Betis,
now.
Vitesse, whatever. You're not good, though. You know, that's a diplomatic way
No,
of
but
telling
if
you
your argument was that he never played for Chelsea, records are there, statistics have shown he did play.
which games in him. Why
Why
was he loaned? Why was he
Okay,
loaned?
let's move on.
We move on.
Other man.
Zanako argument.
Zanako-
Pius,
Yeah.
in conclusion, he's a professional player. For them to sign him on, he's a good player. He just failed to deliver. That's all.
Yeah,
Simple.
Also,
he's
so,
like
good players fail to deliver.
He's like Eden Hazard,
We
who's
have now
failed to
really-
deliver.
Look at Hazard.
We are
As
now-
Real Madrid.
Hazard is a good player, but he has failed to deliver.
But-
It's normal in
but
football.
Arthur has brought something very interesting. Good player failing to deliver.
Playing him for a good player of saving up to deliver.
How can that reconcile? The two don't. If you are good, you will deliver.
Not every.
Patson is delivering. Mwepu
He
was
delivers
man of
some.
the match the other day. Anyway, that's for another day. Fashion is doing it. This boy grew big headed.
You see? You see, this
we
is where I have
spoiled
problems
him.
with Elderman.
We kept
meaning
telling
I have
him-
problems
you know,
there.
He's accepting
We
the
kept
praise.
telling
Everyone is
I have a
disappointed
problem
because
with
of the
this argument.
Zambia thing.
We kept telling him, you are good, you are good. The mother came in. Now he starts telling the
He's
coaches,
player hating now,
I'm
huh?
good. I can't
You
go
know,
to the
by
bench."
your Elderman. You are being emotional.
Can I ask Elderman a question? Elderman, can we call him to play for Zambia?
Certainly not.
Why not?
He's
I
not
mean,
good
his
enough.
chances are lower to get back for Belgium, but maybe we can use him.
Why? Do we need bad players?
Okay, continue.
Yes,
We are not a bad.
He has failed to
So
deliver.
if we get a better bad, then we are on a
Some,
good
ba-
trajectory.
some bad
one
are
good
better
lesson-
than others.
Yes.
One good lesson to the young players: don't grow big, be humble, work hard, and you are going to.
If you're a good
It will be
player,
like
don't be big-headed.
even Patson Dak. He keeps saying,
No,
"No,
I'm a players.
I'm
but
still
because
learning." You know,
manager alikupa time.
look at the way Patson talks. I'm learning. That's why I'm learning from Vardy and so on. Yet he knows that at least he's competing. Not telling coaches, I want to start. I'm good. Come on. How do you tell a teacher who is going to examine you?
No.
You say I'm better than a teacher.
A good teacher will tell you why I'm not using you. It's because you need to work on this and this and this. If a teacher is going to keep quiet and is not using you, then for me I have a problem with that teacher. Because why do they have you? A good manager is one that is going to sit a player. That's why players are required sometimes 1 hour 30 minutes to go to the stadium, meet a manager,
There
face
is-
on face, and then talk where the problems are. and
He's
try and work out
asking
the problems.
to play for Chelsea for free. He'll be a ball boy. I can assure you.
He's better off
They
playing
have
for
no
Chelsea
plans.
for free
They have no plans
than
for
coming
him.
to play
But-
for Beautycon here.
Gentlemen, okay, but in a practical sense, I mean, a club like Chelsea, can't they use free services of a player of his caliber? I mean, free. It's for free.
It's a policy
He's
matter.
offered.
It's a policy
Matthias,
matter. Maybe the
Matthias.
policies
But
don't
they've
allow us to
refused.
club.
It's
The-
a professional team. It's a professional club. They have no plans for him. There is no way they can have, and it has never happened. I've never seen any club having.
Yeah, this is why we are saying
A free
policies,
player,
and you
yeah.
see, they are also guided by certain policies
Ethics,
which are
yes.
in place, and so sometimes insurance issues can also come in. You're using somebody for free, they break their leg. How are you going to sort them out? Because they're playing for free, are you going to watch them to die?
Zanako are at it again, Pius, every year. They trim not less than 8 players, and you remember we attributed this to their lack of consistency, because it's like they have to start afresh, and you know the new players have to buy into the philosophy of the coach, the issue of cohesion and so on. It takes a bit of time. They have been doing it. I think this should be 3rd year, and they are. They have done it at the time they're starting the CAF competitions, because you know the CAF competitions and the league are too demanding. You need to have experienced players. You need to have depth in your squad. I don't know who is managing Zanako. Anyway, they have their own reasons. I differ, because some of the players they have released could have helped them. Okay,
I'm sure they're getting better.
they have released their skippers, Zio Tembo, They have.
Has he been playing? He hasn't even been playing.
He's been playing.
He's only played maybe 2 or 3 games, if not 5, less than 5 games.
He's been playing. The last 3 games, check the statistics are there. Zio, we trained Zio as a coach recently, and he has been at that club for a long time. You don't just throw him like that. You are a human resource.
If you have released somebody, you have your own reasons. Maybe they have a good coach already outside. Are you going to keep him because he's been there for the whole lot of the
anyway,
time? Gigs were working at
anyway, and it's even them who sponsored him.
Even when a Beckham,
they are the ones who even sponsored him for that coach. I mean, for that course. And I know that Zio is a very disciplined player. He even won, he has an award to that accolade.
Yes.
But now the discipline without
So,
win. Another challenge on.
So there is no way, and you see, after mentioning these names, I'll tell you what the other players have said. So they've released their captain Zio Tembo, goalkeeper Mangan Banda, they've released him, Ernest Mbewe, Oteza, Baba Basire. Now these 4 are the ones I was talking about. These have massive experience, and I think Zanaco should have benefited from it. I don't know who is managing Zanaco. I'm ready to argue with their management here. Then they've also gone ahead to release Marafa Niazemana. This one is a foreigner. He never used to have game time. Evans Katema, Emmanuel Sakala, Kingsley Hakuya, Jonathan Daka, and Joel Kajob is another foreigner. And I hear their midfielder survived the chop. George, Boydimson that survived the chop. He was almost. And then the question is, how has Sambalungu survived? Those are some of the questions. But before my colleagues come in, the top Zio, Mangani, Ernest Mbewe, Baba Basire, surely they should have held on to this. The league they're going to go into is hectic. It's demanding. They will need players to compete in the league and the others for CAF. Now, they're getting all their experienced players out. They are remaining with a thin squad, almost 0 depth. I don't think you manage a team like that. I would disagree with some of them. Have more players. Zesco have more players than Zanaco. But look, Zesco are not even talking of even Ichamirandona Chikula. Can you go?
But what is Zanaco's reason?
They know when that player will be required.
And there are rumors that Jesse Jackson will be renewed.
What are the reasons for Zesco to keep the players, which Zanaco is not doing? Now, listen, Zanaco is using the excuse of costs, isn't it? If I've got them right, they are saying, okay, the cost is unbearably high to run the club. They've even said the kit man, I don't know whether it's a kit manager, is going to be relieved. Probably they are looking at it. It's cheaper to take the jerseys to the laundry than keep a kit man, a kit manager, or whatever they call him. Okay, they are saying the coaches, they need to reduce the coaches. The physical trainer needs to fall off. They just want to remain with 2 coaches. They are also saying the secretariat, they have trimmed it down. The driver, apparently, I looked at the driver. The driver was also going in camp to do what? You are playing at home, the driver is in camp.
Now,
when you are away, the driver, you have no choice. But if you are going to be Mulaya Queensmead Stadium, but driver
he needs to be part of the charms.
How can a professional club do away with a physical trainer? We are joking. These are a bunch of jokers.
I agree with you.
You can't. I mean, that's when they're enforcing now. In other countries, they've brought in a dietitian, they've brought in a psychologist who is going to psych the players. Football now demands more.
Can you manage those costs?
Then if you don't, then forget about football. Football is about costs. Then stop pretending.
For me, if I look at the
football is now, big business now, to an extent where
big business, Tamulepanga profit, big business.
You see, you were challenging clubs just few minutes ago. You were saying, can you make money Can you be a business? Can you have some businesses, whatever?
Vambe kushitisha inkoko.
Now,
Panyuye kuchiba.
Zanaco are representing us at CAF level. Surely, do you expect them to go with the 2 coaches? No physical trainer. They are not going for social football, gentlemen. They are going to compete. They are carrying the name of Zambia as well. You know, our slots have to continue, and we are supporting Zanaco. So they can't be joking like this. Oteza Mbewe was scored in the last few games. Who made this chap is still young. If he's trained well, if he's managed well, they can still get a lot.
Finished Outeza Mamda.
He can still get a lot.
It's finished. It can't run anymore.
He scored just recently. Look at the last 3 games or so.
It's finished.
Okay,
So
so
Outeza can't run anymore.
No, it can't run anymore.
It's only jogging.
Who is younger between Oteza and
for me,
and-
I
But
just
form.
hope
Oteza guy has been finished for the last 2
that
years.
some wisdom has gone into some of these decisions. Some of those players, I agree. I think some of them.
But for me, players like
past
Mangan was given a very long time to actually be the
sell
first
by
choice.
date.
Ali Filoko by first choice. Whenever he's given first
No, he
choice
was.
position.
He was the first choice for
I
almost
think
a long
How
time.
consistent?
Mangani
No,
should
he
try
wasn't
and go
consistent,
into
that
maybe
guy.
Eden
That
University or
guy was
something.
Go to
never
Eden
consistent.
University.
He's
Yeah.
not even a good goalkeeper. Let's face it.
But
Maybe,
Wakufa,
maybe talking from
you don't page.
Matthews Kabamba,
Listen.
who runs a goalkeeping school which concedes 7 goals. I think that's why he graduated.
Papa,
from.
You
But
don't
Matthews
release-
Buleufwa.
He runs a goalkeeping school.
You know,
in his peak time, Matthews was
don't
conceding
release-
12 goals.
You know, you don't release
Matthews
11.
Walker,
You don't release 11 at you go. That's a team. NAPSA,
No, if they are not doing anything,
NAPSA
release
got
them.
excited when they qualified for Continental. They released about 12 and brought 13. Where did they go? Straight to Eden University. Gentlemen,
But they were already growing.
Football-
Nelo Tamala was telling
football
Israel,
is,
they were already on the downward.
They were going
spiral.
football is a science. It's a chemistry. The players need to know each other. You know, they need to play together. They need to form a formidable side. These are lessons I think Zanaco should have learned from NAPSA and even from themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
So, gentlemen,
You-
we
you
need
were
to
telling us-
quickly move on.
Yeah, he was telling us Ernest Mbeo has been scoring. He's not even on the top 3 there. He's not even.
No,
he's
there's
not amongst the people that
what I'm
scored the 3
saying,
goals.
I'm not
Gentlemen.
saying he's their pick player.
It's
But
finished.
He's a finished Outeza. Let's forget.
So for me,
Let
trust
them
me,
look for.
that
Kofa,
is-
let me start with you. Your best 11.
Well, if you ask me the best 11, I don't have the best 11, but I only picked.
since he doesn't have one red
Out of
minute,
out of 17 games.
I picked the below average players from the league that we have. If we say the best, then these are the peak
The
of the
best
players.
of what we have
The best of
in
the
the local
best.
league in 17 games.
Pass, the best of the bad
No,
players.
they are not. Yeah, the best of the bad players. I would have Lamek Siamengo. I would have Benedict Chepeshi, Lyson Torre. 4-5. I will have Shamjopa and Magenge. Then I will have Jack Chilwa as holding midfield. I will have Kelvin Kampamba. Number 7. I will have Joshua Mtale as my attacking midfield, and our Friday Samu pairing with Godfrey Ngwenya as my 2 top men, and Spencer's out on the other flank.
Okay. Arthur,
Is it the best of the best or the best of the
No,
rest?
makula yonse ali hapa.
Okay.
Malunga.
can I correct you before?
Eh.
Not that Tema Kuda is. We are just not yet at
Gentlemen,
the
Tema
level.
Kuda.
We are
We
not
are
at the
picking-
level of.
Yes.
we are-
Yes.
eh,
These
we
are
are-
below
we are
average
not-
players.
we are not
Out of
at the
10,
level
they're
of,
rated-
let's say,
None
Europe.
of these players is rated over 5 out of 10.
no. What criteria are you using to rate players 5?
But whatever level our league is, we are talking about.
Gentlemen,
the-
let's
the
have
best-
respect for our league.
Yes, exactly.
It is 7th in Africa.
Yes.
Okay? Our league is respected. It has been
Yeah,
on number
because
7
there are-
for some
because there
time.
are no better leagues,
So
that's why they are number
players,
7.
it's players who made it to be on number 7.
There are no better leagues.
So for you to be saying Makula, me, I don't agree with you.
Same.
I don't.
Impress me. Yeah.
Okay. What is the best 11 so far? Best performance. Let me say. Let me use that
sounds
word.
a bit
The
better.
best.
Yeah.
The best
That's a better
performance
terminology.
So far.
so far
So far.
at the halfway stage.
I've got
In
Malunga
your
from
view.
Ghana. Then I've got Old Man Sasulwamba from Zesco. Then there's Prosper. Then there's Adrian Chama. Then Dominic Cabo Warriors. Prince Mumba Cabo Warriors. Mumba Zesco Namvika Museveni. Then Godfrey Ngwenya, I'll put him in 8. Bazon Kana, Friday Samu, and Robin Siam.
Okay.
Green Buffaloes.
Yeah,
Other man?
And to me,
Best performance.
this is the best performance. This is, to me, these are
In your view.
in my opinion. That's why I didn't want to argue even with my
Yeah, Kyle, the effort at Africa Cup, that's your best.
Otieno from Zesco. I would
Otieno
have-
to Zambia.
No, it's not
He's in
Zambia.
our
It's
league.
the league.
Yeah, Pius, when you called me, what did you say?
It is the league.
And I emphasize that.
No, I was talking about players in the local
But
league.
Yes.
But pass our focus
Pass,
must be on Zambians.
No.
When you called me, I
focus.
said,
We are
is
making-
it Zambians or
listen.
foreigners? You said Zambians.
Listen.
And I-
Okay, I'll give you permission to change.
No,
If
no,
you
no,
have
no,
to
no.
change
Ah,
any,
no, no.
I'm okay even if I
Pass,
change it.
our
Changes
fo- our
nothing.
We
focus
are
must be on
making-
Zambians.
yes.
we are
That's
picking players
Best
who are
performance
competing
in the first
in
17
our
games
first
of
17 games in
the
our
season.
league.
Yes.
No, but pass.
Okay.
Next time you think of such a thing, let's look at local players.
Okay.
So,
Other
Trying
man.
to develop our
so
own.
Otieno, Zesco. I will have Giro Ichimwemwe from Nkana. I will have Luka Chamanga in the central defense. I will have Chanda from Warriors and Chirimba Monga from Buffaloes. I will have Dixon Chapa, 6. Of course, I have Muba, Godfrey Ngwenya. Friday Samu will be my lead striker. Alex Bazo Ngonga. And of course, Joshua Mtale. To me, that's what I've picked.
I'm going to read out Mr. Danny Kambanja's mid-year team of the year at the halfway stage. Otieno, Zesco United in goal. He's gone for a 4-3-3, 4 defenders, Gilroy Chimwemwe Nkana, Luka Chamanga Power, Solomon Sakala, Zesco United, Marcel Kalonde from Cabo Warriors. Then midfielders, Caesar Hakuluba, Green Eagles, Prince Mumba, Cabo Warriors, at Godfrey Ngwenya, Power Dynamos. And strikers, Moses Piri, Alex Ngonga, Nkana FC, and Friday Samu, GBFC. All right. So
make one out of the average of what.
yes, I'll compile all the votes and we'll come up with a team. The team of the halfway
team.
the Flava Football Show team of the season. Looking at the votes, and already you can see
Moore
probably
is number
Otieno has got the most votes as goalkeeper. Ngonga is almost on every list.
It's not
Friday,
on mine.
is not on yours. Friday Samu is on every list.
Muba.
Godfrey Ngwenya is on every list.
Muba
Yes, Muba
is
as well, except on Danny's. Danny's Muba is not there. Yeah, so it's not difficult to find to pick the team so far. Okay, I think we can open the phone lines now, and we'll come back, and just after the phone lines we'll discuss Zanaco's chances in Africa, and then we'll close out with mainly EPL football. Phone numbers are 0212-222-877 and 0965-000-877. I'll repeat them: 0212-222-877 and 0965-000-877. Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, caller.
Tamkwama bombeni kwai.
Yeah, Mkwai.
Bachanda kumisaka.
Vachanda Kulusaka.
Kumisaka.
Misaka.
Kansinza.
Oh, convinced. Please go ahead,
Yes.
Vachand.
Lauda mani mabombeni.
Vaodaman.
Okay. I think valeo.
Valeu.
Ndefo kulanda bapasi ndefo kulanda pali ya matrande ya marketing.
Yes.
I think
Pali and Macham.
buying each other like because of marketing. What say that's okay, but maybe for instance Zanako na barista sponsor. I want to concur with Bakufa na Bayoda Mantemo for the Bachando but if na Zanako bashikapura out barista sponsor ni shooting ya yakachani ya mama. So kama club sinemulera I think sinemulera nga barengwa. Ishibenga balo mfana ngabo mfange simulero ndo bafunza kwa watu barengwa. I think sibabula mo 1 point or other point, so that much can improve on marketing because I'm a team why we shall not design starting just because of marketing. Then therefore the man valande ko pamla nduna na rimpo kama rumazi ya pali babazo ati bale kumapanga sana. Kwamba shufile bakunya kwero bachana pamla nduna transfer. Thank you very much.
Toto Talaba Chanda, thank you very much. 0212222877. Let me get 09. Oh, we missed 0. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Who am I speaking to?
It's me, Regina.
Regina, long time.
Long time.
Epo mwaba. Tulifia bueno. Thank you. Kale, thank you.
Regina Munishani.
Mkwai. Parona 2022.
Thank you, Regina. Okay. 0212. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, speaking to Gerard from Mundeke, Power Dynamo supporter.
Please go ahead, Gerard. Please go ahead, Gerard.
Yeah, I've been trying to call since, I would say 8 years ago. Yeah, now I'm up to jam through. What I want to say is our team, Power Dynamo. I don't know where the problem is. If it's the management or the player themselves, I don't know. They are starting playing well, but the striking force and the goalkeeping department is poor. So if they look onto that, we can do better. Even in the league, we can be there on the top 4. I just want to say thank you for your analysis and keep on firing. You are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. 0212222877. Good evening, caller.
Yes, Uncle Pass, how are you?
Fine. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, change mindset.
Change mindset.
Washima
Palo, please go ahead.
Compliment of the season to you people.
Thank you.
And to all the soccer fans. I think last week I met even with Mr. Kufa Chipeta. I think he mentioned about the soccer fans that we have here in Zambia. That's why now the mindset is very change because you don't say to shout by executive, players, but what about ourselves as the soccer fans? Naletamba ba Man na wa Newcastle. Umukote alelumba kwa chilimbi ngapusha byokulumba alafwa. But walasanga tifwe nalafine balelanda ngabatwingisha akofye. Nishapwa bonse baikala na tondolo. Chivipisheko limbina player apikira kule kwineko baberere balamupusane botolo. Na ipo turachati moraiji ama players besu. So 2022 going forward, I think April mindset number for the kuchinja number because at least we have seen, especially Monomokopa Belt. Yeah, because I'm sure you guys you can even see yourself but not kepanako. Shalileko kumalusaka no kukumbeko tatua ya sana ba mindset. But God willing next year, I'm sure I will travel even to go now as far as maybe in Kuma Sorwezi, Nokia Kumalusaka. Coming to VAR. I think ila chitafeva ama big team. Mwewa tambile ko mala chita analyze pali Newcastle na Man U. I think mwali ama fawa ya chitreva Man U aye sana. Ngama mwana hivi na zaki ya kwa Ronaldo. I think for me was supposed to be red carded but bamupera yellow. Mwali po na penalty but tabale bapera. I think na Liverpool abo bene cyari chitikapo etofini. So I think yena what vapangireza ati ama big teams not ama small team. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Let's continue the same spirit and we'll continue supporting you guys.
Thank you, Bashima Pala. 0212222877 or 0965000877. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Yes, good evening, Ma Bombasan.
Not Bomba Vewino. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, you are speaking to Nalumino from Flava.
Nalumino, please go ahead.
For me, I just want to ask Kwaba Mayuka, and then pari ababa under 17. Uyo kakalumendo atika Joseph Banda usheto kwata abantu bakubashita monitor buno bwino nakushaka. I think my question yandia.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
It's Given from Mbeki.
Given, please go ahead.
Saruseki, yes. Good evening, Lauderman.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. Compliments of the season.
Thank you.
To the Flava football show. In a term for Kuranda Pasana, you touched on the issue of marketing. I think in the private testimony of Sekasan and the management Yabankara. Ghana has a large fan base in Zambia. But the matter realize that if they can come up with anything, they are marketing team to support the team so that the team can be self-sustainable. So if in Ghana was to come up with an idea of maybe constructing a shopping mall in Lusaka or constructing a shopping mall here in Quito or anywhere in Zambia, I think Ghana can be self-sustaining. So I pay so it's called Corona. Once our fans very good Mukamona na my teams financially like in Ghana comfort you over there, they will start to struggle. Management, if we have to think outside the box, let them think outside the box. But I'm having Zango after sustaining team, so that that's struggle. My teams don't talk about Premier League. Maybe the only team that can survive is in Canada through a handouts. But they can't stand on their own minus some sponsors. Thank you, Mombe.
Thank you, Pastor Luseki. Very valid points. Okay. 0212222877. That's the number to call. And the other number is 0965 000-877. Good evening, caller. I'm going.
Kuno kubulangiriro power supporter
Vatsenga PDFC
power navambo kulate yako bwino nomba twalila kunu mabatulolekeshepo kwenanga ni mugo nomba mwalu ikefye mwakutinga baleu makona na ufimba na pamenso atika tuishi ama goalkeeper nshishi refile chitika pama goalkeepers kupawa elo va mwenye atwalila kofye panono kumwa icho uyu bando uyu mwa icho twapapata fwaile nipo umbi natumikemo kutila tule ikala femitwe tukalipa amahela ziafula takapiti ulio mwa ichali no mwenye elo mutale nanku ale kiokuwodinga bola too much ale pela bwangu aba nankwe natotela mukwai.
Good evening. Sorry, thank you so much. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening, caller. Radio. Should be any radio. Thank
yes,
you.
We good.
Who am I speaking to?
Bob Churu from Sakere.
But Bob, please go ahead.
I just want to contribute about the first season round of this league, Zambian League. I think by now, I'm 48 points, so second at least it's a chance. Number border, season, we are lacking among strikers in Zambian League. For the rest, even the national team were not performing very well. So therefore, as we come into this second round, same price good team and Power Dynamos. We don't have a finishing striker. If you see the way we are playing, we're not quite a striker like Moses Piri. Power would have been a dangerous team. So I think therefore to Womberi as we come kuri as then Charas team kuri bazanako. He offered the way was offered 11 players. Mareran that he impia tabago at the Shakustaranga. So for them to fraud those players, all of those players are registered mu kafu na ku league bavuire bashitira po bambia bakutira nomba nimpia nshibaka bomfya. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Mulishani.
With Mulishani.
Wino fe.
Please go ahead.
Inafondera ndako fe bole itwatere ba Power na bankana nebo Henry Mwamba kubuti.
Thank you, Henry.
Ila panse padia pako shitama tiketi. Mwa kushitishama tiketi mwa adite papa ave pabili pali. So kwa adite ngupitwa abantu takwe batu kuti mwa ipana no kuipana. Because ama nani ama tiketi yari isache payapwa. So abantu lomba bale toloka fe paya pama offense. So wakalundeko mwa kushitishama tiketi. Na tote bye.
Thank you. That is a valid point, actually. A very valid point, especially in these COVID days even. It's something to consider. Good evening, caller.
I'm back again. I think you require to remember abantu kuti vari pange ndarama ruwa mapanja muri kusana rande punjere kupanga bino tumwa magi kapu tumashari nombashi vepo turanda ngatira mfika ngakatuishi and then at the end of this time football is business. Kuisa kuti avavaiche vachifiro fraud kunani. I think avaiche amaplayers they need to have vision. I'll give you an example like Mangani. Mangani avananka vavonomba vari performa ku Europe from 1 to 20. But him arishurave nogovati afwa ekimuri akwevati aletea. Chimonomo aiche wesu nyondo. Uyupangana. At least why aku ineko vari andati kuri best defense nango apele pali apapele vari vamtondo. Not vamtondo nango avari mukampu mwachirata shawa at majumuru hai. You find a team where you can have game time. It's up to yourself. When you want to problem to ama prayers vesu. We need to start now changing even mindset yama prayers. Ufura kwata vision. Ulina 19 years ufura mkutondonganya by 25 years influence ni mfikanga ni Europe funga ni fuisa. Not wali wape nuovo or at local profession. Ufura wambukula tondonganya padi right. And then football it's a short career job. Within maybe 10 years nishina job na career yapo. Nama gozi wambambo kuitaki na veteran. Sawa yapo na ngukumu. And tawapanga nenda la manenga ndata ulakula. So they need to up their game. So kuri mumwe shaka at game time. And you know at least you are much better maybe than yababa shala. Find a team. But yaba shotako limbila striker, aba shotako na shala. Like ile mbewe mrelanda. Mbewe nga mwamleta Pakiti United. Mwana sanga tiapu upuruka. Engi cheko 4-5 gozi. Uyo bamu mwone kumbi. Ndawewa lionshaba itikwari waba players hivo nanda na kwewe sharumburi. Mbewa njere bola. Ma gozi. Ngevira ndabatata batembo. Ngano defender, make sure that English. Midfielder, make sure to repanga my ball. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bashima Palo. Okay. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, sir.
Who am I speaking to?
I'm speaking to Zulu John.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. I'm a Zesco supporter. But I wanted to complain that Zesco are not playing well. The game they played in the second half, they were playing like amateurs. I think Zesco needs good players. They need to invest more in good players. And the other mistake is Numba is not. I think the communication with senior players is not there, and we need to improve on that one because the players there is relying on the same young players. They are not delivering. Thank you, boss.
Thank you, boss. Let me get one more caller. Which line was going to ring first? Good evening, caller.
Yes, I'm back again. Saruseki.
Saruseki, you're back again. 1 minute, please.
Yes, I just want to urge Mr. Chambesh to maintain that young player who plays in the midfield. The one who played against Power. I think that boy is good. If can just
Oliver.
Lumbia.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
This is Chanda from Lusaka, a Power Dynamo's fan. Just wanted to contribute on the rumors that are circulating on Jesse Were coming to Power Dynamos. I think looking at the Power Dynamos team, I think in the short term, I think Were would do well. Looking at the fact that Power Dynamos have been creating chances, but they don't have finishers. So I think in the short term, as we are looking for a permanent strike, I think Were would do well. Then to Elderman and Vakufa, today I had a heated debate with my father, just a quick one. I was debating with my father to say, had it not been for the Gabon air disaster, the 1994 Africa Cup that we lost to Nigeria, if those Gabon air disaster did not perish in that plane crash, we would have won that tournament. And my debate to my father was to say, if they were that good, why did they not win the 1992 AFCON? I think I would need your siding on that one. Thank you.
I will also help in answering that question. Yeah. No, please. Okay, wait. Let's start. You can start. Let me start with you, Kofa. Answer that question. Why do people predict that Zambia could have done great things?
And then, according to the caller, the father probably watched the 92, which I did watch quite very well. Mm-hmm. And we lost to Ghana. Abeji Pele scored us in the quarterfinal. We lost to Ghana, and Ghana went on to lose in the penalty shootout. It ended 11-10, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, 11-10
to Ivory Coast.
Yes. It will never get it right. We are using assumption because we are saying the other team was more talented than the other. The question is, where were the other opponents and why were they not winning? And the father, I think, has a valid point.
No, I can help you, Akufa. 3 of the key players, Kelvin Mutale was not there. That's when they just brought them in, and they assembled now a team which had not lost in almost 11 games.
11 games, yeah.
They were just winning.
And it draws.
So, which means, to answer the old man's question, the rebuilding was going on. So, at the time they died, that's when we had the cream. There are cream of that team.
And just to reinforce, apart from 1992, in 1990 we reached the semi-finals of the AFCON with local players.
Yes, with the local players.
Local players. When Akalu didn't come, Charles Msonda, they didn't come, Johnson Walia. But it was practically built of local players. That's just how good the core of that team was. You know, the likes of just the defense alone, Eston Mulenga, very solid. When the midfield, when Debbie Makinka,
yes, exactly. Only joined later on, and I think the time Wachakeni joined, one of the midfielders, I don't know, was not there. I think Charles Msonda was not coming. Then Debbie Makinka was played 8. Then Samuel Chomba went to 6. Then Wachakeni played his debut against Zimbabwe. I was at in Pene Stadium.
That is why, even though the Christopher Katongo team won AFCON 2012,
it was far from
football historians still say today that team that died was a notch higher than
even notches higher. Yeah, you're right.
Notches. You said that notches higher.
Yeah, notches higher.
Yeah.
This is where we say the spirits helped us.
Now,
because
if you hear Bakufa and I agreeing, then you know.
because we lost a team in Gabon, so the spirits helped us. Because I mean, how else can you explain? Less than 12 months later, you go to South Africa, you lose in the first round. The defending champions, that you don't win a game. The one of the draws was actually a dubious draw. A penalty against Nigeria.
The Mayuka one.
Yeah.
And you want to blame Kamanga.
That was a team.
That debate will never. Let's not.
Yeah, no, that was a team.
That was a team such that when Zambia is playing at home, you count it at Independence. They win.
Yes.
There was no doubt. Like now, we are about to start analyzing Zanaco.
Sorry, I'm cutting you short. There was a team that we played which had no corner in 90 minutes. That's how mean that team was.
And it reached the point, it doesn't matter whether you're
Arab, white.
When you come to Independence Stadium, you lose.
Yeah.
It was only Algeria in 1985.
They had not lost at Independence Stadium for almost 18 years. That was the period.
You know, and
yeah. So I think to answer the caller, yes, that team would have gone on to win based on the build up that they had made to the team and the record that is there that they never lost.
Yeah. And you would
so that is right.
One fact is you would have gone to see.
The dad was actually saying the other
why
way.
didn't you? Yeah. So we're saying
the young man.
And one fact is you would have, from that point, you would have seen Kelvin Mutale going to Europe.
Yes,
and you probably have been the best number 9 we would have ever had produced in this country.
And then where again you qualify this, look at the team that we made after the disaster, the Gabon disaster. Those were players that were very good in their own sense, but they never made it.
But they were fringe players.
Yes, because they was the best.
Yes.
If you are caught to the just to sit on the bench.
If people like Elijah Litana could not get Elijah Litana, if they could not get into the national team.
Wawa Chongo, Agre,
imagine.
You know, they couldn't make it. They were far away from the main national team.
Yeah. But we thank God we had such quality actually, because it took 10 weeks.
Yes.
For the first game after,
and they only had
10
2 goalkeepers. They were not having more than 2.
Yeah. All right. So Zanaco, let me just give the full groups for the Confederations Cup. That is Group A: Pyramids FC, CS Sfaxien, Zanaco FC, and Al Ali Tripoli. Group B: JS Kabili and Royal Leopards, one of the two when they resolve that one. Orlando Pirates, JS Sora, Al Ittihad, and Group C: TP Mazembe, Cotton Sports FC, Al Mazri, AS Otoho, and Group D: Berakan, Simba, ASEC Mimosa, and US Gendamire. We are mainly concerned with Group A: Pyramids, CS Sfaxien, and Al Ali Tripoli. So it means Zanaco will have to go to Libya, they will have to go to Egypt, and they will have to go to Tunisia to play
was already calculating the number of kilometers, thousands.
Yes. Now, gentlemen, the key of qualifying to the next round, just like the World Cup, is win all your home games.
Yeah.
Can Zanaco win all their home games against such opponents?
Well, perhaps let me start. We have to look at the pedigree of the opponents. Now we start with the Pyramids. Pyramids is a relatively new team, but already they are a big side in Africa. They reached the finals last year. They reached the finals last year, so you can't underrate them. They have a lot of money. They have invested in that team.
Yeah.
So Pyramids, they lost to RS Beken, if I can recall, 2019-2020 season. So they reached the finals.
Yeah.
They're not a small side, and Wapas was giving us the standings in their league. They are number 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Pyramids, yes, they're number 3 after Zamalek.
Now
and,
that is a very competitive league in
and
Egypt. So,
Al Ali.
Yeah. And then coming to Sfaxien.
Sfaxien, yes.
They have the best record in this one. They have won it 3 times.
Yeah.
They're very experienced side, and obviously they have also invested a lot in that team. So the only team here on paper which Zanaco can perhaps Chanquila, if I may use that word, is Al Ali from Libya.
From yes.
Yeah, that one. At least if Zanaco put their cards well, maybe they can pick something. But remember, 2 teams have to proceed to the next round, and it's not easy when you're surrounded by North Africans like that.
Yeah. Your view, Arthur?
At this stage, confidence levels must definitely increase. I've got a bit of hope we can make the top 2. Depending on what comes out of this firing of those 11 players, if they're going to bring him some 3-4 better players and the people they fired, that would be value addition. Because I'm sure for them to get rid of those 11 players, they must have a plan.
Yeah.
The only hope is that the only fear is that I hope their plan is not as bad as NAPSA's plan was. NAPSA, the mistake that they made is they brought in too many new players. But for Zanaco, I just see them bringing in maybe 3 at the most 4 players. So I wish them well.
Kofa.
I want to tell them this issue of let's go and draw when we go away. It's a bad way of approaching matches. Go and win. For you to have made it to the group stages, you're as good as everyone else who is there.
Yeah.
So go and approach the game. This is when you say go and draw. This is why when they concede, they don't know what to do anymore.
Because their plan is damaged.
Their plan is to draw. Now they have conceded. They don't have a plan to score. So go and play an open game. Attack as much as you can. I've noticed one thing. If you are going to play a slightly higher tempo game, the Arabs get confused. Mm-hmm. So approach them with a tempo. Take it higher, and we the blacks are more energetic than them in terms of. So, and then use the same wings where they want to exploit from. Then they will have no choice. That's how Piso has been managing to beat them.
Yeah.
Piso just uses the pace. Mm-hmm. So approach the games like
it's
that.
Pace, confidence,
yes.
Correct attitude, the mind.
Then when you come at home, again, don't come to defend. Because if you defend, Arabs will attack you.
Yeah.
Arabs will attack you.
Very good at that.
So can you attack them throughout? Arabs will get confused. They don't know how to play a slow game. The only way they will play a slow game is when they are leading and they are falling all over places.
I think for me, what I've noticed, if you look at the case of our last 2 envoys, Nkana and Napsa, they both played Arab teams in their groups. It was basically terrible discipline at the back. It was not even about them playing badly, no. They played actually well, even away. They would play well. But discipline, it was just making funny, silly mistakes. Yes, exactly. They a little bit of the lack of confidence, like Oderman is saying, and it was not even about going forward. It was just that small thing where you find you've played so well, but you've lost 2-0, and you wonder how you lost. You know, so that same thing where they should not even, like our Ali Tripoli, they should not even take them for granted, but they should try and Zanaco, if on a good day they've got enough firepower, they can actually beat these guys, scare them.
The other thing they need to do, send spies to those teams. You need to know how the team you are going to play plays. You are not just going to approach them blindly. You are going to be caught off guard. Send the spies. Spying in football is a very legal business. Send people.
Now you can watch.
You don't even need a spy.
You can watch games online.
You just watch games online, which I hope they have been doing.
Yeah.
Because if they've not, then they should know that their opponents already have a number of games which Zanaco has played. They have about 6-7. They'll base their statistics on about 8 games. That's what they do. They already know the lineup for Zanaco, how serious they are.
Yeah.
They know who to bring down. They know who should mark who.
Okay,
they should be ahead.
The goodness with these guys, their technical abilities is up to. Is up there.
These are games again that you have to be highly technically competent.
Yeah.
If you are not,
then
you are out.
Yeah. All right. I've got a message here which says, my thoughts from Tower, my thoughts on Charlie Msonda. He should be given a second chance by whoever is going to be our national team coach. Let them consider talking to him like it happened to Wilfred Zaha, who was born in Ivory Coast but opted to play for England. He later switched his allegiance to Ivory Coast and was considered. The players are like children. As administrators, we should have the hearts to give them a second chance.
No,
it's not about us.
Listen, Pius.
It's about the willingness.
It's not about second chance. There's no one who has closed his doors.
Yeah,
he has always refused to play for Zambia. It's not like anyone has thrown him away. I think that should be made very clear. He has never been willing.
He's refused.
He has refused.
I was even
so
looking
those
at
who are saying like that should be asking, if he changes his mind, can he come I think this is a question we should be.
I think
asked.
if we critically look at
because the doors have always been open for him.
Elder Mantem, I think correct me on this one. If we critically look at Charles Msonda, I think he's of Congolese descent. So they on the issue of allegiance, they may even probably fall on Congo than Zambia.
No, I think that's another one.
That's a different issue which are bringing other.
That's a very different one.
But on a serious note, if you investigate Charles Msonda, he's got
Arthur, what did you smoke when you
Arthur, okay, let's not go in that direction. Because we've already got the fathers already played for Zambia.
Yes.
Yeah, but what Congo?
No.
Okay, no, do your homework, you tell me.
We are not going to go in that direction.
Just like Alex Chola was also from Congo.
So I just want to answer. I just want to answer that question.
Let Alderman.
Yeah, I just want to.
Yes.
To assure the one who wrote the message. I don't know.
Mtawa. It's Kennedy Mtawa.
Oh yeah, Kennedy. I've never heard of any coach, any national team coach who has said because this boy has refused, the doors are closed. No. I've been following. If he changes his mind and wants to come, I think they can.
Especially that he hasn't featured for Belgium.
He has not been featured.
He will never feature for Belgium.
Okay, but it is his attitude which is wrong. You know, his attitude, which I think a lot of people are concerned about. You need to be willing to play for your own country. That one is a Zambian technically.
But I agree with Kennedy Mtawa. Kennedy Mtawa says, look, let's speak to him. Okay?
No, speak
to him so that he states his position. It's clearly known. Then if he says, look, I don't want to play for Zambia, then you can't force him. If he says, I can consider, then he's eligible. The fact that he has not played for
the biggest problem with that young man or that boy is it's not him, it's the parents. They've got a lot of influence on his decision making.
Yeah, just like you have a lot of influence on your children.
So the point is, speak to the parents, not the young man.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And you know.
But I think maybe that was more of on the younger years. Although they do have an influence, but now he's getting to what, 25? 24, yes. 25.
Yeah.
So now I think he needs to make a decision. I remember that 3 years ago, Roberto Martinez, the time when he was playing at Real Betis, that time he was playing week in, week out on loan from Chelsea. That time Roberto Martinez wanted to draft him into the Belgium squad, but you know the Belgium squad, that was also when they became at the peak of their powers, because it means he has to go in the squad and dislodge with Kevin De Bruyne, Torgen Hazard,
something else,
Axel Witsel, you know, those players. So it can't happen now, but maybe he was looking in future. But injury really is what has taken him off track.
Yeah.
Maybe by now he would have been on the fringes of getting into the squad. I don't know. Okay.
Because even in Zambia, let's not take it for granted. He will face a lot of competition because his position, he will be competing with Mwepu. Huh?
But that competition
is doing very well.
That competition is very healthy by Alderman.
Our front line very soon will be completely from Europe, so he won't just come in and it won't be a walk in the park and just take a
he's
position.
Also coming from Europe,
you know.
Yeah.
But
even if he has no club,
he's a tourist now. Don't take us back to what we're already discussing.
Okay,
I think
let's leave that issue. Let's leave that issue and quickly just look at the CAF Champions League draw. 2 Sudanese teams in Group A: Al Ahly from Egypt, Mamelodi Sundowns. I think this one will be very nice to watch, and then Al Hilal and Al Marik from Sudan in Group A. Kufa, 2 teams coming out of this one.
It's good for competition. At some point we had Nkana playing Zesco.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
So it's good for competition. Obviously they know each other, but
the dynamics just change, man.
You're playing a different league. Yeah. You have to change a lot of things. But it's good. I'm happy that
so Group A, who is who is?
Well,
you
I
think are the favorites?
I fancy Sundowns and
Ali.
Yes,
Okay.
these are household names.
Yeah,
you can't put them away anywhere.
Other man in Group B, we have Raja Casablanca, Horoya from Guinea, Aton Satif from Algeria, and Amazulu, South Africa, coached by Benny McCarthy.
Is one of them.
Yes.
And then
Aton Satif.
Horoya.
Horoya.
Yeah.
I would fancy Amazulu. Write them off at your own peril.
In
Benny
Africa,
McCarthy is doing.
In Africa,
wonders. Yeah.
What history do they have? What pedigree?
What pedigree does
this is the first
Horoya
time
have?
They do. Oh, come on.
Which team?
Horoya, you just click there.
Which
Horoya have very big
have they
side.
gone in competitions?
You have to.
Arthur, we've got in Group C Esperance from Tunisia, Ton Satif also from Tunisia, Belouizdad Algeria, and Jwaneng Galaxy from Botswana.
Just the first two.
The first two. Okay. And I'll give myself Group D. It is Wydad Casablanca from Morocco, Zamalek from Egypt, Petro Atletico from Angola, and GD Sagrada Esperanca from Angola as well. So 2 teams from Angola as well in this one, but I think the Arabs should take it. So with that, Casablanca
team can pass through.
and Zamalek. But it would be good to see an Angolan team disturb these guys. Yeah, it would be a good thing. So as far as other news
so pass, is it a sign of pedigree? Having 2 teams from one country.
Yes.
It's a sign of pedigree.
Angola has always been
assured.
We keep talking about.
Assured. Already the points are going.
They are slightly lower.
And Sudan.
Same.
Yeah.
Even Sudan are lower.
Slightly lower.
So
Sudan. At what point do we
Sudan,
lose
Angola?
It's investment in individual clubs. That's where the difference is.
Yeah.
Investment in individual.
So pass, how safe are we with the 4 slots? For now, we are still safe. For the next 2 years, we are
still safe. But
it will be after about 3-4 years.
You should thank Zesco for what you are enjoying today.
Okay, I mean, of course, we have to.
No, you should thank Zesco.
That made you have all those.
No. It's accumulation of points over a period of 4-5 years. We thank Zesco.
We have to thank Zesco, Nkana, and Zanako. These
Zesco,
3.
Nkana,
you are thanking Zesco, not
No. We have to give credit where it's due.
Yes.
Look, if you look at the last 10 years, remember Nkana under Masao Somwale.
Yes, they reached quarterfinals.
Yes, and also the time when they were drawn with Zesco, and also this last period, group stage.
Yes.
So Nkana, you have to give them credit.
Took you to the semi-finals.
No, it is
but what about this year? Where did Zesco go this year?
Where is Zesco now?
You can forget about this year.
They were knocked out by a non-entity. They were knocked out by a non-entity.
Knocked out by a non-entity.
Thank Zesco. Whether they are eliminated by a non-entity, thank them. We are there because of.
No.
Is there because of.
It is the accumulation of. You know.
Not afterwards.
If it was Zesco alone and the others were out, we would not have made it.
It was because we got to the semi-finals.
Yes.
It was aggregation.
Yes, that one was a big one.
It's the one that semi-finals. That's what gave us the first.
That same period when they were assessing the teams, Zanaco got to the
the time when Zesco got to the semi-final.
Ghana reached the quarter-final. So all those points were put together.
Yeah.
That's how we benefited.
If Zesco had gotten to the quarter-finals, then we are not going to get the 4 slots.
No.
Kufa,
yes,
10 seconds answer. Will the quotas make us better or worse?
They are making us worse.
Other man.
They will make us better. We have discovered the Kangwandas. They have a chance now to play. I mentioned about 5 young players.
You gave me 10 seconds. You are giving him 2 minutes. Let me explain.
Other.
The quotas will definitely. But it's not now. It's a long-term thing.
It's a long-term thing.
Yeah.
Not when you're
because we have to agree. The foreign players have played a part in pushing us in the slots.
We have not thrown them away. It's 5 of them. 5 is a good number if you get good quality players. 5 foreigners. It's not
Since
like
you've got
we've
a
thrown them
different
away.
view, Kufa, is 5 too little?
No, it's okay.
5
If
is
you're
okay.
so,
5 is okay.
5 is okay.
So we are okay.
we are okay.
Okay. All right. All right. Otherwise, our players playing abroad. Radi Walia, he played over the weekend for Simba in their 4-1 win.
Yeah, he's the regular now.
He played 9. He was substituted in the 69th minute. Triple C, he was in action also on Christmas Eve. He played 90 minutes for Barakan in a 1-1 draw. Fashion, he came on in the 68th minute for Rangers in the 2-0 win. He's been used as a sub ever since the new coach came as well.
The new
He's not-
coach.
Gerard was using him more as a starter by the time he was leaving. For Leicester, Patson Daka didn't play yesterday.
Injured.
He also didn't play against Man City. He was injured. And he's supposed to be out for 3 weeks. Enoch Mwepu, a magical pass
Yes.
for Trossard,
Wonderful.
for Leandro Trossard
90
in the win
minutes.
over Brentford. Played the full 90 minutes. I think as we close, let me just for AFCON 2 issues. Ziyech, Hakim Ziyech, he has been kicked out of the squad, or not kicked out, omitted from the squad by the coach because he's got issues with the coach.
Personal.
It's not footballing reasons.
Personal.
It's personal issues.
A
Morocco
professional person should not bring personal issues
But we're talking about Lusaka.
to an
We're
organization.
talking about Africa here.
Yes. We are saying, don't bring your personal issues to business.
No.
Leave personal issues to business.
There we are. Tuwalachesha na kabiri.
We
Listen,
Africa to play.
the coach has to decide who is going to be in the camp based on discipline, based on performance, based on cohesion. How does he relate with the other players? You can have one good player who is going to cause a lot of havoc in the camp. It's better you leave that one.
But
And
have you heard what Pius
Okay.
is saying? Personal reasons. So the problems that the player has and the coach are nothing to do with it.
Supposing the player
They are everything to do with
supposing the player undermines the coaches, take coach you.
That's part of
You were kicked out. You are out.
Suppose it's the coach that
he will
is
show
saying,
you who is the boss.
You remember Mido?
Mido, there was a
and
problem
his,
with
and his
Mido.
coach.
When he was removed, the boy who came in, he scored.
They even they even won the AFCON.
Yes. some players become big-headed. You don't have to
It's like
allow
that player from Liverpool, that Matip guy. Those guys, they refuse to play for Cameroon, and Cameroon went and won the AFCON. That
You see,
so discipline sometimes.
talking from a manager's point of view.
What manager you?
Call
what
a player, sit him down.
What manager?
Find a common point where the problem is coming from. Try and resolve it. If you fail, bring another person to try and work it out for you.
There are some players who will continue undermining.
This problem happened between Sunday Olise and Vincent Enyama, Nigeria. Vincent Enyama was given some days off. He went to mourn his mother. When he came back, what happened? He was stripped off the captain band and he was dropped. They brought a shambolic goalkeeper. What happened to Nigeria? They never went anywhere in that tournament.
Okay.
So don't bring personal issues.
So he's been dropped for Zimbabwe. Otherman?
It's a third. Zimbabwe have packed bags. They are
ready to go to
ready
AFCON.
to go, but FIFA is FIFA, bwana. They will have to wait for 3rd January. If they don't,
Have they resolved?
if they don't bring
You know,
back that committee, FIFA will crack a whip. This is not a threat. They've done it before. They don't care which country it is. Zimbabwe will receive a whip on the back. It's
The situation in Zimbabwe is FIFA has given Zimbabwe up to 3rd January to bring back the old executive. But as at today, that was the National Recreation Committee in Zimbabwe. It's like National Sports Council in Zambia. they are the ones who brought a new normalization committee to run ZIFA, and they will run it until December 31st, 2022.
You see?
And that decision has not been reversed in Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe has already chosen the team to go to Nankan. AFCON.
On paper.
So we'll wait until after New Year. On Monday.
They're everywhere.
You
So,
see,
Cameroon, there was
the only problem is that at the times a crack, I mean a whip will be cracked on Zimbabwe. There will be very little time for another team to come in so that it takes a squad.
I think we labored so much last week on this one. When the groups are made, if one team decides not to go for whatever reasons, the 3 remaining teams will battle it out.
No. If you say that, you misread the people. Let me correct you. I was also looking at it this morning again. They will go back to a group where that team came from.
In 96,
and then
there was Africa Cup winning.
Look what it. Let him click right now.
No.
The 2020-2021, whatever.
No, other man. But once the draw has been
Let
done.
me tell you, if you want, I can produce the.
Tell us.
Let's make the long. We are out of time actually for the show. But the easiest way, Oderman, is produce the evidence next week.
I already have it.
Let's discuss that one next week.
You know why I got interested? I saw a lot of misleading statements. I even listened to one radio station, I think it was in Osaka. I said, but this is simple. You just have to click the conditions for 2020-2021 qualifications for AFCON. They will go back to that team, to that group. In this case, it was Group A. They'll pick Zambia. It's straightforward. I'll show you even tonight.
Let's
gentlemen, I'm ready to show you even tonight.
That's a story for next week.
Why Zambia won't go? Perhaps is because the time will be too short. Okay, the time may be too short for them to raise the squad.
But if given a chance, we love football too much.
Yes, we can go.
We can manage. Okay, no, it's too short. Now it's too short.
But groups are made.
Let me tell you, Bakufa, please.
There was AFCON not too long ago. Congo was in that group.
Okay,
which are like, I think there were about 3 teams in that group.
Let me tell you, I can't come here confidently say this without a basis. I'm not guessing. Please mark my word. They will go back to that group where the team was expelled and get the next team, which is Zambia. This have been on air, and I even clarified.
In Angola.
Okay, we're out of time. Gentlemen, we're out of time.
No, don't talk of Angola. Every year.
No, we're out of time.
There are regulations which are laid down for each qualification for each time. I'm saying go and check.
That one,
2019,
it's on the table next week.
2019-2021. I've already clarified this on other forums, and they've agreed with me.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. We have overshot today.
It's okay. We started late. After all, it's the last program in the
last program of 2021. We will come back in 2022. Happy New Year, everybody listening. A few listeners on Facebook. Thank you. I've seen your message. This one says, "Did you know Charles Busonda and Kalu's mother came from the same village?" That's from Facebook. So say, enjoying the show here in Kitwe. This one is says, watching from Ndeke. That's Moses Mulenga. This one says, wow, for the first time to see you live. I have been following you through the radio, but today, Namitamba, continue your good work. Spotify, Park Kitwe Central Hospital. We end here, gentlemen. Bola.
Nizigoli.
Bola.
Ibaba.